Hey, everybody. So, as usual, please let us know. Can you hear us? Do we sound like robots? Is someone louder than everyone else, or vice versa? Say hi, guys.
Friends.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Excellent. Yeah, so awesome. Thanks, Kelly. Well, welcome everyone on this lovely Saturday after Thanksgiving. We are about to dive into the thrilling conclusion of Teen Justice Academy, Our Masks, A New Generation, powered by the Apocalypse, TTRPG game. But
He thinks it's the last one. That's adorable.
Well,
we're gunning for a second show.
I mean, yeah.
We're gunning for a second season.
Yeah,
it's the end of this comic.
It's the end of this issue. There may definitely be future issues of this, and I think everyone really likes masks as a system. So we'll have to see what comes in the new year. But don't be surprised if this shows up on the planning section of our tracking spreadsheet relatively soon. So. Cool. Anyway, that's a little bit cart before the horse. Before we dive into the story and before we kind of try to get ourselves reacclimated to like, what's the story? What's going on? Who are these people? You guys should probably talk a little bit about who you are, where people can find you, and remind us about your character. Let's go with Tough to start this time.
Great. I am 98 Tough Love or Tough Torfleton, various variety of nicknames. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. You can catch me on Twitter at 98 Tough Love. And I am playing Spectre, who is a scion or the kid of a villain. She has regeneration powers and awesome martial skills. Go, Misha.
Hi, I'm Misha Less Than 3. You can find me on Twitter at Misha Weha. That's Weha at the end of Misha. I'm playing Tilly or Tilder. They are the newborn, aka a robot. Definitely a normal robot. Definitely not constructed with alien technology. They are integrated with light technology, which allows them to create solid light to solve many problems. Hopefully not with violence. We'll see how that goes.
Yes. Meg.
Yes.
I called you Meg. Rachie.
Did you call me
I
Meg?
did. I did.
That's hilarious. I was like, what? And the funny thing is, I just opened Meg's channel as well to make sure.
It's because we're connected like that. Or I'll just start calling you guys Rag.
Whoa.
Or Matey or something.
Rag. Matey. Hi, I'm Rachie H. Sort of variety streamer. Mainly been doing stream raiders recently. I haven't been doing much at all recently. You can find me at Rachie H, twitch.tv, and then all my socials and stuff are on there. I am playing Resonance, which is my superhero name, but I'm also known as Lala, which is like my celebrity name, and I play the Star. And I am a social influencer and celebrity, yeah. And yeah, that's about it, really. So, Paradigm.
Hi, friends. I am the original Zodi. You can find me over at my Twitch channel of the same name. You can also find me in Juice's channel. Here, I live here for the most part when it comes to streaming. And I play Paradigm, also known as Ren Harper, which most people don't know because everybody calls me Paradigm. I'm the Harbinger, meaning I come from the future. I am doom and gloom. I am 100% against Resonance. I think she's a vapid social media influencer who is going to destroy the world and cause a whole bunch of drama that nobody needs. However, when you jump through time, things get a little fuzzy. And now I'm going to throw it up to SJ.
I'm SJ Sidekick. SJ Sidekick everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. My character is Impasse. I have a mentor right now that's going through some stuff. So I'm also now going through some stuff. My character has the ability to mirror other people's powers, which comes in handy, especially in this group. But my character is also very high-strung, especially given the situation going on. So you can expect Devin to be a little tense.
Yes. Yes. And I am Zero or Zero Daylight or DM, GM, Keeper, Narrator, what have you. I play a lot of this type of game, in fact, either here or over at Duckworks channel every Wednesday or every Sunday over at Juice's TV program and the Licity channel for our long-running D&D 5e campaign. So I kind of just split here and there and play or run these games. If you are not, well, first of all, if you aren't subbed to this, if you aren't following this channel, please follow this channel. And if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go do that. It is youtube.com/C+content. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so that you can be notified when we have new content, because we put a lot of content out. And that's the best way to know that there's something new and get caught up with old things. And finally, if you like this kind of game, and you like these people and you can imagine yourself playing this kind of game online with this type of person, you can join our Discord, where you can get to know cool people and talk about super nerdy stuff, probably too much. And you could even sign up for games. We have a posted spreadsheet with lots of games in planning and lots of games on deck. So it's a great way for us to gather interest from the community. The only thing that's required is that you have a decent microphone, a decent video setup, and that you're nice and play well with others. So cool. That is my spiel. So it has been a bit since we all got together. So let's do a little bit of a popcorn to figure out if we can collectively recall exactly what's happened. So maybe can someone give us a little bit of a reminder of what happened in our first session?
I can do that. In the first session, what has happened is our team awoke on a regular workday morning to find that our coffee machine, everything in our base, the impound, I believe, was offline. Going outside, we found this was a widespread electrical outage with a central focus in the center of the city. We quickly moved to save a commuter train, elevated line that was speeding out of control due to the lack of electronics. We successfully did that. No one was hanging outside of the train for any point in time in danger. And we pinpointed the location of where we think this EMP incident started from. It was the center of downtown, suspiciously by the LITEC headquarters. As we arrived there, we spotted a couple of things we noticed. One, there was a hole in the LITEC building on like the 37th floor or something. And two, SJ's mentor, you know him.
Impact,
yes. He was there was a manhunt for him as he had killed an innocent man in cold blood, allegedly. And I believe that is where the first episode left off.
Excellent. Yes. Thus, Impasse being a little bit stressed out because there was on the giant 4K Jumbotron there in what is effectively the Times Square of Halcyon City, the home of these heroes, was grainy CCTV footage of Impasse's mentor murdering an unarmed person.
Allegedly.
Yes. So, second session picked up there. So who wants to take us through what happened session number 2?
I can do that if you want.
Yeah, do you want to do what you and Tilly did, and then we can swap sides back to what was happening with the other group?
Yeah, so we separated, and Impasse, Spectre, and Paradigm went back to the base. And Tilly and myself decided to go and investigate what was happening at what was the building called again? The
LITEC.
the Litech, where the big hole was in the wall, because that's where Tilly was made. We decided to go in the door rather than through the wall. And we met the receptionist, who took a lot of pictures with Lala. And then we went inside. Do you know, for a second, Michael, I was like, wait, were there rats? No, wait, that's I went into a building and spoke to a receptionist, and there were rats. It's another rat. Okay. Yeah. So we went in, we spoke to the receptionist, took a lot of pictures, and then when finally we went up to the floor, and we met with the lady that created Tilda, and we went in and had a very secret discussion with the mentor. We shut off all communications for a little bit, so it was like nice and secure, and I assured that I wouldn't say anything. And we found out that basically the same energy signature, which is alien, is also in Tilly, which is why Tilly didn't shut down, but everything else did. So why Tilly's mechanisms weren't affected by it. And we obviously kept it secret. We went back to the base, and we met up with the other guys, but we didn't tell them about the alien tech for Tilly's safety.
Yeah, you did not.
I'll let the other group take off.
You did not reveal the fact that Tilly's advanced systems are inspired by something that crashed to Earth in Oklahoma that was clearly of alien origin. Although you did work together to augment Tilly's ability to scan, and detected a faint energy signature leaving Earth's orbit,
dark side of the moon,
traveling to the far side of the moon. And you did share that information with the group. What did the other half of the team do during that time?
So, yeah, Spectre, Impasse, and Paradigm ran back to the impound so that Impasse could start looking into finding out if they could get in contact with Impact. She failed and was unable to get anything out of him. And so Impasse and Spectre wound up having a emotional combat fight scene where we kind of talked out some of our fears and how we would handle dealing with a not so great mentor.
Or mother.
We went back out, or mother. What's that like? And then Paradigm threw a wonderful fuel for a coffee machine. And we also received word that Impact was being held at Aegis headquarters. We decided to go there to try to talk to him. Impasse went in and talked with a cyborg. I can't remember what his name was.
First responder.
Yeah, first
Rock
responder.
Burrows.
And basically just told him that she didn't know anything, didn't know what was going on. Impasse went and had a talk with Impact, and Impact was kind of just like, don't implicate yourself in this, don't implicate yourself with me. Kind of making it pretty clear that he just wanted to protect Impasse from any of this. Paradigm attempted to telepathically communicate with Impact to try to get information, and Impact shut that down fast because it was not a good idea. And then we returned to base, decided that we were going to go to the moon to follow this trail that Tilly picked up. We stopped at JJ's, had a big casserole dinner, and then called up, I believe it was William Shatner, for his spaceship, and we took that to the moon.
Yep. Residence's godfather is Bill Shatner, who in this universe is in fact a retired hero named Crooner. And you were met at the spaceport by Nichelle Nichols, who was there to see you off and make sure that you understood how to fly this kind of retro futuristic space vehicle. It's interesting, however, to me, Spectre, that you left out the whole part where you called your mommy, who was a very bad person.
Yeah,
did you just
that's right.
Did you just forget that part, or?
It's just, I did call my mom because we found out that the person that Impact allegedly killed was the Silver Shade, who was my mother's partner for a while. They did a lot of heists together before he became a reformed hero And so I was worried that she was implicated in it, so I called her up to find out if she was. She denied anything, and I kind of believe her on it because it's not really her MO to pull something like that.
Yes.
So,
And
we also met Taylor, who I don't like.
Yeah, who's like a 19-year-old skater boy that is also your mother's very age-inappropriate boyfriend, apparently, at least for this weekend, because she'd be like that. So I think the only other thing that we can remind everyone, well, two things that we can remind everyone of, is that as you met together kind of for the first time in the official kind of situation room that you have at the impound, kind of like, we got to be real heroes, right? We got to step up to the plate. There was a lot of conversation about what could be happening. And I think it was Resonance's insight into the way the media works that helped to provide a clue, which was there had been a lot of thinking that, or the current kind of suspicion in town is that the electrical situation, the event that took down the internet and caused all kinds of issues with electrical devices, was a distraction to help to implicate Impact. But that's all anyone's talking about right now. The only thing anyone's talking about is the Impact saga. No one's talking about the missing outer shell of the 37th floor of Lytech Industries. No one's even really thinking about what might have caused that disruption other than probably impacted it. So I think it was Resonance who helped flip the script and said, well, maybe all that's the distraction. And whatever happened with Lytech and has since fled to space might be the true plot. So you then flew into space, and the last time we saw you was a big wide shot of your little retro-futuristic spaceship coming down for a landing on the far side of the moon. And there in a crater is a perfect sphere of some sort of metallic substance with what looks like lines of glowing circuitry kind of flashing and ebbing and flowing underneath its surface. It had perhaps just normally, or perhaps it could sense the proximity of your ship. There was a bit of a ripple on its surface that allowed you to realize that it's actually thousands or tens of thousands of very small, perfectly interlocked metallic devices of some sort. And then we saw you guys getting ready to approach this crater that is underlit by this greenish glow. So, the second thing was that you did have a lovely dinner over at JJ's. Yes. JJ is Resonance's friend. Spectre's friend. Yep. Who helped you escape from your evil mother's influence. You had a lovely casserole, and then because you ate right before you went into space, there was a little bit of a situation that happened. But luckily, the spaceship is equipped with autonomous cleaning bots who fixed all that up. So those were our final two scenes. What are you guys going to do?
Or have we landed yet? Or are we still in the spaceship?
Yeah. Okay. We'll say that the big splash page that opens this section is the ship coming down, kicking up a little bit of lunar dust, coming to a rest, not far from the lip of this crater.
Yeah, I'm suiting it. Resonance.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we probably should put on spacesuits. I don't
Yes,
wanna...
you should probably put on spacesuits.
Yeah, you're probably fine, Tilly.
I'm fine.
Yes.
I mean, I think we should definitely assess the situation.
No, you're supposed to walk in blindly. Come on.
I've got to do my Lala voice instead of it. I'm like, no, I think we should definitely try and figure out what the hell that thing is over there. I
Well,
mean,
yes. Well,
Yeah, I've tasted it.
since you brought it up, why don't you go ahead and roll superior?
oh, sugar. Okay.
Everyone else is just excited to go.
I figure suit up first and then.
Yeah.
I just want to go jump around in space. That's gonna be fun.
Okay, I got an 8.
All right. So that you are effectively holding one, you can ask one of the following questions. What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the biggest danger? Who here is most vulnerable to me? And how could we best end this quickly? Or
Yeah,
something in that
rid
vein.
our spacesuits.
If none of those make perfect sense, pitch some other kind of similar question.
What can I use to what? Well, I mean, I think we know what the biggest threat is.
Maybe.
What?
Yes. I would say you probably know what the biggest threat is.
I guess the best question there is how could we best end this quickly? As in how can we resolve the situation the quickest?
Well, I would
I
say,
guess.
yeah, I would say since none of you are like blasters, right? Like the idea of just blasting whatever this is into a billion pieces. I mean, first of all, you don't know anything about it, but it's not really within anyone's power set to be super duper destructive. So I would say a frontal assault is probably lower down your list of potential options for ending this. I would say, both from understanding that this is connected to the source of Tilly's advanced AI, and the fact that it appears, if your suspicions are correct, and that this object is related to whatever kind of multi-layered plot is happening back in Halcyon City, that suggests to you intelligence. So it's possible that you could do something do something other than just go in and blast it. You might you might be able to find information if you could find a way to communicate with it. Not saying that that's not without danger, but just given the clues that you have in the situation you're in, that you think that might be the fastest way to reach a conclusion.
Okay. Okay.
And it might not be a good conclusion, but it's a conclusion.
Can I also go ahead and assess the situation to figure out, what the future knows about this?
Yes.
Okay.
Since that's a unique.
That's just a D6, right?
It's always 2d6 plus.
Okay.
And in this case, it's plus
whatever.
superior.
8, 9.
All right. Well, that will get you one question, which in this case is, what does the future know about this?
Yep.
In your future, this group of heroes was absent for a couple of days. Like, things were happening on the planet. They had gone and spoken to Aegis, and that then just kind of laid low for a couple of days. And it was when they returned to action that everything went horribly, horribly wrong. I mean, things have already started to go wrong, but the highly destructive event that you believe residents caused happened immediately after this group went on a little bit of a hiatus, just for a couple of days.
That hiatus could essentially be the moon trip.
Be the moon trip. Yeah.
Okay.
So it is upon, you believe it is upon return from the moon that things are going to go boom.
Okay, I'm definitely going to.
Rachie.
She's killing me.
I'm sorry. I just discovered that if I drink my tea, it makes me disappear.
Magic tea. It makes you invisible. It's perfect.
I'm really sorry. It just then amused me. I'm really sorry. I apologize.
No worries.
I'm going to go ahead and relay this information to everybody, that, you know, whatever this is going to lead to the big oh shit moment on Earth. I'm going to look directly at Resonance and tell her, you know, this is the point where you have to choose. You know, you're the one in my future where you turn out to be a power that no one can reckon with, and you cause the war on supers. I want to stop that. That dead ass look.
It is completely possible that you just being here completely changed everything. And the fact that now Residence knows, it's very possible that now that is not the case.
Or time traveler paradox.
Yeah.
Telling Resonance now is what causes the future.
Oh man. Why
She's like,
time
what?
stuff
I could
into
be
the...
a force?
Resonance is like, yes, I am the power.
Okay, let's not get power hungry here. Like, we're like, can we go to the moon base?
Yeah, I want to focus on the task at hand. Resonance, you're fine right now. We'll deal with it before we leave.
I'm just not processing that. I'm like,
We'll shelve the apocalypse for later. Right now, we have more pressing issues.
But this is a catalyst for the apocalypse.
Then after the hiatus, though, right? I mean, we're on the moon right now, so it's not going to happen right now.
We could just live on the moon if that makes it better.
Do they have enough food on the moon?
I mean, Resonance. I don't think I'm part of this.
You know, I might be able to like regenerate myself to live for a little while, but I don't think that that's going to work forever. So, we should go home at some point.
So, Moonbase, Tilly, do you see anything, like assess anything? You know, you're.
Oh yes, maybe I should assess the situation also. Since
Sure, why not?
Robots.
I just put my hand on Tilly's arm and just be like, "Are you sure?" Because I'm just a bit worried. So that's why
I got a 7.
Sure?
Oh, well, I mean, that's not the worst that you could possibly get.
No, it's not.
At least you didn't earn an experience or anything. So yeah, you get one question. What here can I use to blank? What's the biggest threat? What's in the greatest danger? Who is most vulnerable to you? And how can you best end this quickly? I would say duplicative questions are probably going to get duplicative answers, although you can't ask the future one. So
yeah. I guess what here is in the greatest danger? I mean, I assume it's us, but like, of us, is it the people in spacesuits, or is it me because I'm also part of the technology?
I would say it's probably the latter.
Okay.
I would say you are probably concerned that although whatever the disruption was didn't seem to affect you, and uniquely among all the Tilder units that are similar but don't have your unique kind of core processor and AI, you detected no intrusion or interruption or impact on your efficiency. Similar Tilder units were, they have very high security, so they weren't disabled, but they were certainly impaired. I would say it makes sense to you to wonder what would happen if something that shares your origin were to attempt to interfere with you.
I'll probably turn to residents and say, it may be a concern if I come into more direct contact with them, but I feel like it should be fine if I keep my distance. Keep an eye on it.
Do we hear this, or are we just watching these two like whisper back and forth to each other?
I'm probably saying this out loud. And I will probably hedge because I am technology and it is some sort of technology, is my reasoning behind saying that.
Yeah. And is proven an ability to interfere with technology. So, okay. Because lest we forget, I think it's only residents at this point who knows that Tilly's origin might be related to this object.
Kind of spurs the question, what is our goal out here? Because, I mean, we just followed a trail out into space, so we found a thing on the moon, but, like, are we trying to destroy it? Are we just trying to gather intel? Like, why are we here?
I think we need to figure out what this is. Like,
this is the thing that stole something from my tech and caused the disturbance. So we would like to
didn't steal anything.
Did I say it didn't steal anything?
Yeah, I thought you said it just broke a hole in the wall and then left.
Okay, it broke a hole in the wall and left. Yes, exactly that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I think it's
Tilder would be able to remember exactly what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's messing. It could be messing with her, the technology. We saw what it did on Earth and we're closer to it now. So,
yes.
So this is what caused the disturbance. So we should stop it from doing that again.
Yeah.
If there's something that could be researched, I'm sure somebody would like it, but I assume it not doing that again would be nice.
Yes. And of course, impasse.
Looking for evidence.
Yeah, impasse. If you're able to determine that what occurred in Halcyon City was some sort of alien plot, that will, you believe, help to clear your mentor, or suggest that it was in league with aliens, one or the other. So, what do you do?
I guess they get out. I was kind of hoping they'd assess entry points or something.
I was gonna say
I think it's
figure out how to get in.
I mean, it's literally
get into
it's
what?
Just,
it's outside.
Yeah, it's just this sphere of interlocked devices resting directly on the surface of the moon in a crater, in an old crater, not a new one. And you have landed just over the lip of the crater, so you can't currently see it, but you do see just a little bit of the green pulsing backlight coming out of that crater.
So
the way to get in is to just go walk in.
Just jump. Okay, cool.
I mean,
let's go in.
Or you could fly, or but it's like there's not as far as you can tell, there's not a lot of options. You just go over to it, or you could just leave. Yeah. There's all sorts of things you could do.
I'm gonna go get closer look. Come, Inspector.
All right. Yep. All right.
Okay. I want your regeneration mobility hand.
Right. I just say, Tilly, and I do say this quietly to Lena, Tilly, stay back.
I nod in agreement.
This is me walking through space.
Lovely. Lovely. So, we have another scene as, well, 4 heads and shoulders pop up into view with Tilly back a bit further. And you get a clear look at this object. It is now, in the few minutes as you were getting ready, it appears that the lights are moving a little bit more quickly, and the same kind of shutter moving through its shell, revealing its kind of, not patchwork, but like puzzle piece surface. And you can see it very clearly now. And you may even be able to feel through your boots a very slight kind of vibration because it is in contact with the surface of the moon. So it appears to be quite active.
I go to look next to me for Tilly, and I'm like, and I look back, and I'm like, Tilly, do you sense anything with this tech? Like, can you figure out what it's doing or trying to do or what it is? Okay.
I'm like,
Can I do that? What is it?
assess the situation.
No, I've been reading the files.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Is it 2d6? I forget.
Yeah, it's always 2d6 plus whatever the move calls for.
All right, I don't want to talk about it. I feel.
Oh, mark experience.
So you gained an experience point?
Yay.
Well done.
Yes.
I just don't know what this thing is.
No, it is far outside Impact's experience, and so it wouldn't be in any of his files unless he's in league with it, in which case he wouldn't have shared the file with you.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
either way.
So
it is just sitting there pulsing and glowing as you guys just kind of stand and look like.
I'm honestly, I'm going to take a few steps back and walk with Tilly. But at the same time, I'm like going to kind of, reach my hand out for her. This way I can kind of levitate her a little bit off the moon itself without, launching her into space. This way she's not. Well, yeah.
Please don't launch me into space.
I'm going to try to lift her off the ground, maybe just an inch or two, just so that, she's not feeling the vibrations of it as much, but can still remain with us.
Sure.
Michael,
yes,
because I have electrodynamic control and sonic.
Yes. The sonic is going to be an issue in space, but the electrodynamic control, not so much.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering, could my character reach out to it and see if I can sense any kind of electro pulses or anything?
Sure. I'm going to say that is an unusual use of your power because it's very subtle and it's more receptive than projective. So I'm going to say you're going to roll to unleash your powers.
Oh,
so roll plus freak. As Resonance puts your hands out, starts to very subtly send.
So for this story, I will then say that I have chosen to do this because I am frightened we don't know what it is, and I am worried for Tilly. And I don't want to put her in danger.
Yes.
And so for me, I want to attempt to do this. And also maybe to add a bit of flavor, let's say it's a bit of Paradigm's fault as well for telling me that I had more power than I thought I did.
Yes. So you're overconfident? Yes. I like it.
So maybe it's just maybe I have more than I thought I had. So let's try and not destroy the Earth and save Tilly instead.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. I'm like, is she trying to turn it off? I don't know. Like, what is she doing?
Turbo boost it.
It's just going back over the lip of the crater like,
Looks like Rachel got a resounding success.
I got a 7.
Oh, well.
I got a 5 and a 1, and then my freak is a 1.
All right. Well, the effect is going to be unstable or temporary. You are also going to mark a condition. I'm going to say afraid.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So you have a moment of yes, maybe I do have the power.
-2 directly engage to clear runaway. I just wanted to say what it says.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So when you take a condition, characters, for those of you who are new or don't remember, there are no hit points, there's no armor class, none of that kind of trappings of combat-oriented systems. Instead, when things go wrong, you take a condition, so an internal emotional state. And each condition has a series or has a set of impacts to you. Generally, it provides a penalty on certain types of roles or activities that you want to accomplish. And it prescribes ways that you can clear that condition. So running away is a way that you could deal with being afraid, for example. So you are afraid. However, the effect, you are successful in connecting with it. However, I'm going to say it is unstable. It creates a feedback. So you send pulses of electromagnetic energy at it, and immediately it responds by effectively ejecting this outer shell of small flat devices and rising up off the surface of the moon as this outer shell begins to spin in very kind of complex, well-coordinated motion. And then it responds by sending out a very powerful series of complex pulses of electromagnetic radiation that momentarily freezes your suits. Just because it's almost like it's sitting at a broadband handshake trying to interface with everything, and your suits are not meant to be interfaced like this. Tilly, however, is. Tilly, I would like you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Trying to protect it.
Yes. I did.
All right.
Okay.
So I
Go ahead.
rolled a 6. I don't have any conditions marked.
That is going to. That's actually quite good. So you stand strong, but you do mark potential as usual
Oh, neat.
because it's still below a 6. Taking a powerful blow is kind of like something bad happens to you, and it's unlike every other roll where low is better. You don't add one of your attributes, you add your total number of conditions. And if you get a 10 plus, you're effectively taken out. Doesn't mean you die, it just means you have to flee or you pass out or something really weird happens with your powers. But in this case, you stood strong. So what is the effect? How do you weather the blow as this wave of highly complex electromagnetic radiation attempts to connect with your systems in a very invasive way?
I guess at first it's like throwing up the basic defensive protocols to stop the interface from happening. But as it continues, I think they adjust and like rapidly learn how to accept the message at the very end instead of burning out part of the system. It has adapted to it.
Okay. And you will say you realize that the message is attempting to basically overwrite your protocols. But you are able to shunt it into your communication subsystems as opposed to your core programming. So Tilly now acts as a receiver amplifier, and you all hear within your helmets, "We are the Steel Swarm. Surrender." And
What
of course,
the hell is a steel swarm?
Tilly hears that as well. But your hair is now glowing green, the same
I'm
color.
just going to go out on a limb here, Impasse, and I'm going to say that and motion to the pile of steel and technology is the steel swarm.
Is it though?
I have an inbuilt camera in my visor, and I just take a moment to take a picture of Tilly's hair.
Just for later, because it's looking fierce.
Just in case.
Just because
Yeah.
It's the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can I still talk myself, or are they in the communication systems?
No, you can.
Okay.
You weather the blow.
Okay. Yes. It's them.
Who is them? What is this? What is this? What is it?
I don't know.
So it just goes, ah.
I don't know. A steel swarm. They declassify themselves.
That's a
quite
steel swarm.
literally. That's a steel swarm.
If someone doesn't answer what the heck it is, I'm gonna blow it up. They just asked us just to run here.
Don't blow it up.
I'm blowing it up.
I'm not actually gonna blow it up. My character's just a little frustrated.
Don't blow it up.
Well, the swirling swarm of little small devices spreads out even further from this intricate core where the glow is coming from, and then the entire device lifts out of the crater and begins making its way toward you. What do you do?
Hey.
Another blast of communication. This time, it is apparently learned to use your, because it's monitoring the communication between your helmets, and so now it's blasting directly into the speakers inside your helmets. Serve us,
To the way that you're
or
able
be
to
destroyed.
cut off the communications.
Serve you how?
And
I want to know what they want. Like, play along a little bit to try to see. Like,
Yeah.
serve you how? What do you want me to do?
All right. I think it will interpret that as acquiescence. So one of these small, roughly diamond-shaped flecks of metal will eject from the halo around this device, and it will slam into Impass's chest. Small little wires and tubules will begin to sprout as it starts attempting to integrate with your suit.
Oh my God! No,
I'm going to try to defend.
All right. I think yes. I think that collectively you are now entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. Correct?
Yeah.
that sounds right.
Yeah.
All right.
You wanted this from the beginning, Michael.
Who is the leader of the team?
I think everyone but Resonance.
We never established this.
It's majority. It's majority rule.
We never established this.
We had this conversation once before. There was not unanimity, but it is a majority rule at this point.
Okay.
Is it though?
It is.
Did Tilly decide? Did Tilly decide?
I mean, it's still majority 3 versus 2.
Yes.
But you can't vote for yourself.
Yes, you
I
can.
absolutely vote for myself.
It's vitally important that you vote for who you think is the leader. So Spectre, who is the leader?
Oh my.
I'm following Impasse.
Tilder, who is the leader?
Impasse.
Okay. Resonance, who is the leader?
I don't know, but it's not Impasse. I tell you that.
Okay. Paradigm, who is the leader?
Impasse.
And Impasse, who is the leader?
Me.
Beautiful. Okay, so
Sorry, Resident.
I told them.
Impasse, do you have influence over every teammate?
I think everyone but Resonance.
All right. Does everyone have the same purpose in the fight?
Yeah.
Broadly. I mean, it's not like I want to defend this person, I want to defeat the thing, but does anyone have a different or secret motivation in this fight that they're aware of?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay. So you all intend to protect each other and defeat this thing. That works.
Yeah.
Does any team member mistrust the leader?
Me.
So you mistrust Impasse.
Well, no.
Do you though?
No, I don't. I just don't think they're very nice. I just don't think they're a very nice person, and I don't think they have
Leaders aren't
leadership
meant to be your
qualities.
friend.
No, but you're particularly horrible to me.
How am I horrible to you?
Impasse and Paradigm have been nothing but horrible.
Paradigm's been mean. I've only been very mission focused, which you don't like.
Yeah, which is cut and you've cut me short because of it a lot. So it's not that I don't trust him. It's not that Residence doesn't trust Impasse and think that Impasse. I don't think Impasse makes the best decisions sometimes, like running after. That's why I don't think Impasse is a leader, because in my opinion, Impasse ran off to serve their own purpose, which was find out what was going on with their what they called mentor. and to me, that wasn't what was best for the group. So I'm like, well, so I'm mixed. I don't think they're bad.
So, but you don't mistrust them. Okay, that's
no, I don't
important.
mistrust them. I don't know, not at all.
Do you
I
feel?
still think they are good.
Do you feel that the team is ill prepared or off balance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was fair.
All right. So you start every session with one team, and on the basis of everyone having the same purpose in the fight and no one mistrusting the leader overtly, you will gain 2 more team. So this is basically your aid pool, meaning if someone is attempting to do something and a couple of points might help them, you can spend team to take it over the threshold. You may also spend team selfishly, but doing so generally will do something like impose a condition on you or create some sort of further complication. But since you are all acting more or less in the same direction, it shouldn't be necessary to spend selfishly. All that's required is that narratively someone could act to assist you and spend the team to give you that additional point. So there's no initiative. So I will say, what do you guys do in response?
Can I use Resonance's power to like try to maybe electro whatever, get the heck thing off me?
Yes, I would like you to unleash your power.
Oh, hold on. Let me pull this up.
Well, unleash Resonance's power. Which is 2d6 plus weird.
Can we help at the same time or not?
That's really what team is for. Otherwise, it's individual actions.
Right.
Damn it. Okay. Because it's minus. I have a minus. Oh no, I don't have a minus on freak. Okay. I have a 7.
7 total once everything is accounted for. All right. So this is kind of unfamiliar, and maybe there's a little bit of like, it's maybe just a little bit harder to use your power mimicry because you've got empty space and radiation and spacesuits between the two of you. So maybe it takes you a second to really grab it, but you do gather enough of Resonance's power to zap this thing. And it does appear to have at least bought you some time. It does not seem like it's continuing to assimilate your spacesuit. To what effect, you do not know. Who else would like to do the thing?
Help me.
Well, I would like to go and grab the thing on SJ on Impass's chest and try and get it off.
All right. So I think that is going to be a defend.
Okay.
So roll plus savior.
Okay. Uh, 10.
Ooh, that's quite good.
Let me just double check my savior. No. I got that wrong with superior. That's why I wanted to check. It's 8.
Aha. Well, the good news is that you are successful. You're going to keep Impasse safe, at least for the moment. But you are going to expose yourself to danger. And or escalate the situation, which I'll figure that out in a second. You can, however, at this point, because you hit, you can add a team to the pool. You can take influence over Impasse if you do not already have influence, or you can clear a condition. I think selfless action to protect an ally is something that might help you overcome your fear, so that narratively makes sense. Seeing you act and to defend other people might improve the team morale, could add to team, or could impress Impasse and give you an opportunity to take influence. So any of those things actually make sense narratively.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Mechanically, because we're in a fight, I think the best thing for me to do is clear the condition, because that's -2 to directly engage. And if I directly, so I think at any point I could, so that would probably, I think clearing the condition would be the mechanically
agreed
the best option.
So you just power through your fear, grab this thing, pull it. However, you do expose yourself to threat. So as soon as you remove it from impasse, it begins to twist in your hand, and all of its little wires, etc., begin to clamp into the glove of your suit and start trying to do something funky to it. Who's next?
It's like a horrible hot potato.
Yes, it's like a terrible hot potato. And there's only 10,000 more where that came from.
I think I would like to unleash my powers. I would like to try to create some light sphere or cage or something to try to corral all of these bots into a contained location so they don't keep coming at us.
Definitely want to go ahead and help and use my telekinetic power to force them to go into that.
I'm going to say that is more of a directly engage a threat than it is an unleash your powers. It's something you can do, but what you're doing is you're effectively saying this is a big threat. I'm going to attack it or prevent it from doing things. So I'm going to say that as directly engage a threat. So it's going to be a roll plus danger.
That is a 11.
Ooh, excellent. You get to choose 2 between resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Well, I would like to create an opportunity for my allies because I heard you wanted to use some telekinetic powers. So I think this will corralling them into like making a bucket or something out of light to scoop them into. Yes, a large bucket. This is the best plan. That should create an opportunity for you. And I think resist or avoid their blows, because if we catch them in the bucket, that should help with that.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
I want to go ahead and use my telekinetic power to yeet them into the bucket.
Directly engage a threat. Roll plus danger.
Right. Let's see. Oh, it's a straight roll. Come on, roll good. 3. That's a 5. Sorry.
Now,
mark experience. And
I'm gonna blame space on this.
Stupid space with its less gravity.
It's totally Tough Love's fault, but we're just gonna say it's space.
I'm going to say, because your failure gives me a chance to make a move against you, I am going to say, why don't you roll to take it a powerful blow?
Oh. I'm guessing that's still a D6.
It's always 2d6.
Okay, 2d6.
Only this time you were rolling plus conditions.
Plus conditions.
I don't think you have any conditions active. So it's just
a straight roll.
Yep.
Oh boy. I got a 3.
No, that's quite good.
Oh, that's right. This is the one where the low numbers are the good.
Yes. So, Tilly creates a cage of light or creates a bucket and starts trying to like create an opportunity for Paradigm to scoop it in, and then you can seal the bucket shut. Paradigm is able to grab a good number of these smaller devices and get them corralled, but the core and we'll say half of this shell of diamond-shaped metallic objects lurches away and then sends out what looks almost like a pseudopod. Like it's a swarm of small objects that just before they connect with Paradigm gel into something that seems solid as this metallic glowing green pseudopod slams into the ground. However, Paradigm is able to dodge out of the way. And then the pseudopod dissipates back into a swirling cloud of objects. Drones. Cool.
Yikes. Is there like, were there weapons on the spaceship or anything, or?
No, it's just a civilian. You guys are the weapons.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to get Spectre into the fight with something, because
Let me go
space
punch
is a
him.
little, yeah, space is usually above my belt, but luckily we have people with powers, so I can kind of cheat, but.
Spectre, what do you do? You're the last of the allies to act.
I want to try to think about it. I want to figure out where the weakness is so we can take it out. I don't think that I can personally take care of it, but I want to see if I can maybe assess it and see if I can figure out what is its weak point.
Okay. So you're going to do a super quick combat assessment.
Yeah.
Roll it up.
Is that superior?
Yes. Unless I'm
The
mistaken.
1.
Oh, a total of 1? Wow.
Yeah, I rolled Snake Eyes and I have a -1.
Excellent. So you're going to take a condition. Yes. So what condition do you think you take?
Maybe hopeless, because I don't know how we're going to beat this, and my friends are getting attacked, and I don't know how to help.
Okay, so you take the hopeless condition. You're like trying to use all the training that your mother gave you that you have since learned, and none of it has prepared you for whatever this is. And so you begin to feel hopeless. Cool. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna yell out to the others, like, we got to figure out how to shut that thing down. But I'm focused on resonance because there's an immediate threat right there that's switching between me and her. And I'm gonna say, like, let's try using powers together to get it, like, off.
All right. Are you attempting to comfort and support people? That's actually more of a social move. So that's just your directive. I'm going to say that it is going to strike out at Tilly. So Tilly,
the thing on my arm.
No. That one's still still there. It's just doing what it's doing, which is trying to infiltrate all the systems for whatever purpose. It's effectively acting independently, but the mass is going to attempt to strike out at Tilly. So I suspect believing that would interrupt whatever it is that you've used to corral a good portion of its drones. So I need you to roll to avoid a powerful blow. It's literally just going to try to slam you, having tried to infiltrate your systems and failing.
This time I got a 10.
That is...
Is there any minuses? Anything you can take away?
I don't think it works like that.
No, I don't think it is.
Now, you do have team. So let me describe what starts happening as a result, and then we can figure out if anyone wants to use team to reduce that to a 9, because a 9 in this case is very different from a 10 in terms of the outcome. So you see another one of these big pseudopods form, and it slams down at Tilly, but it doesn't like crush her flat. Just as it makes contact, it opens up almost like water, and Tilly is completely coated in these diamond shaped. It's almost like you have a weird kind of set of armor on. They connect to you magnetically, and then they send out these little wires and form a mesh around you, and you begin to feel an intrusion into your core programming. You begin to feel a desire to subjugate and conquer, and a complete disdain for organics, which is in conflict with your programming, but this is a very powerful situation. So,
use the team.
yes. So you, unless someone does something, that is going to impose you either removing yourself from the situation or losing control of your powers in a terrible way. Or you could theoretically choose two from the 7 to 9 range, lashing out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, or taking advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on a teammate, which doesn't make sense to me for Tilly. Or you could give ground, giving your opposition an opportunity, and also struggle past the pain, marking 2 conditions. Now, we have 3 teams. Someone could effectively do something in the narrative to give Tilly one of those teams to reduce it from a 10 to a 9, which is good because then you only wind up with one of the lesser conditions.
So may I ask a question?
Yep. Yep.
When we use a team, so it just reduces something. It's not like we go, oh, we do this and that does that.
You describe the narrative. It's not purely meta, like I'm just going to use a team. Like describe what it is that you do with the intent of helping Tilly out. It could be words of encouragement. It could be a physical action. It could be whatever. But as long as you can narrate how you are attempting to prevent the worst outcome for Tilly, that will trigger. And as long as you're able to, right? Like if you were in separate parts of the world, there's no interaction. But since you're all kind of standing close together, how would residents or whoever act in this moment to help Tilly?
Well, I think residents, because of what's happened back on Earth, where I helped Tilly and she was able to sense the stuff, I do believe that I think resonance would do it again. So what would play in my head, what the scenario is in my head, but obviously my team can decide whether they want to go with this, is I would grab Impass's hand, because Impasse has just used my powers. And I would say, trust me, drag Impasse with me and say, grab Tilly's hand. And I grab Tilly's hand and I have Impasse's hand. So we create like a little circle because it was Tilly's powers that I helped last time. So I was thinking that the electro powers could help.
Yep. Just like you've done before. Yep.
Like I did on Earth, but with having Impasse as well, that would be made even stronger. So that's what resonance would do.
Makes
whether
perfect
that helps
sense.
or not is just in my head I literally grab, because we were next to each other anyway, I just grab Impasse and say, trust me, grab Tilly's hand, and then that's kind of
my grabbing the hand that's like all got stuff.
The robot's on this hand, the robot's on my left hand, which I grab Tilly with.
Yes. All right. So you create.
I'm gonna go with it. I'm just a little worried about the thing that's currently like trying to assimilate with Rachel.
Yes. Well, so narratively, you spring into action, leaping in low gravity, grabbing Impasse on your way, kind of land to a bouncing stop right next to Tilda, and then you both clamp on to Tilda, and then you generate this wave of electromagnetic energy. Impasse just a second later kind of intuitively amplifies that wave. Tilda, you feel a moment's resistance, as if these interlocked devices are trying to create some sort of shield around you to prevent further interference in their plan. But it is an unexpectedly powerful pulse of energy. And because you have experienced this before and you still at this moment retain control over your core programming, you're able to shunt that power into not only reinforcing your anti-intrusion protocols, but also to effectively harden your shell and to basically push back at this intrusion. So that does reduce it to a 9, which means you are going to have to choose one of lashing out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, or taking advantage of or influence over them to inflict a condition. And this has to be something like mean. You can give ground, giving your opposition an opportunity, or you can struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
I think I will struggle past the pain, as I presume this is generally unpleasant.
It is very unpleasant.
Overall.
Yes, you don't necessarily physically experience pain, but it is definitely a strain on your systems.
So I'm going to go with afraid because I don't like something trying to reprogram my main programming.
Yes.
And also angry because I don't like someone trying to reprogram me.
Yeah. So switching back into the narrative frame, what we saw was, with Lunar Mountains behind, we saw these objects clamp onto Tilly and then rapidly, close up as they connect, forming this web of circuitry. Tilly's eyes begin to flicker and momentarily glow green, the same color as these objects, until he kind of arches, and it's almost like you can start to see Tilly's body moving without Tilly's control. A look of, if your metal face could have a look of panic on it, it would. And then just leaping into action, resonance and impasse come, and then there's this big boom of electromagnetic energy. All these little diamond-shaped objects fly off, and they go quite a distance because of low gravity, hit the ground, kicking up little puffs of dust, and just kind of sit there and glow and sizzle, and the little wires coming out of them wave as if they're trying to connect to something. That would include Resonance, the one that was trying to interfere with your suit. So there's a minor, little shrapnel explosion as these devices shoot off in a variety of directions. And Tilly is appropriately static for a moment. But you, although your internal systems are somewhat perturbed by this event, you are fully functional. Good. What are you guys going to try to do now? Because this thing's just getting warmed up.
Yikes. We need to figure out. So just so I have a better understanding of the battlefield. So there's that big cephalopod thing.
Yeah.
Or now it's is it still a cephalopod thing?
No, it basically, all the little, the swarm of drones around it are moving very, very quickly. And in a moment they can fly out and then form a pseudopod and slam down or do who knows what. But then it all kind of retreats back to this swirling cloud of drones around it. It's very, very quick. Okay. So it's currently still this weird, ornate, greenly glowing core with this cloud of small drones around it, floating in the center of this crater.
Okay. Can we all try to hit it at once? Can I go to everybody hit it? And then, well, it's besides Spectre. Maybe Spectre can go down to the crater, see if there's a freaking off switch.
Spectre has I believe, really awesome combat skills, right?
Yeah, let me punch him.
Yeah. If you can hit the drones, go for it. So jump too high and go floating into space or something.
So it sounds almost like what you're trying to do is to directly engage it to distract it, so one of your members can go in and attempt to figure out if there's an off switch or find some other way to impede it.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's your strategy. You tell me.
Yeah, I want to turn it off because I have a feeling this thing is just going to keep coming. It's too many drones for us to just take them out one by one.
Yes. So a little narrative intrusion. Tilly, I would like your choice of I think your choice of assessing the situation or piercing the mask. And you were somewhat in contact with this, whatever it is, just a moment ago, and you're hearing Impasse very quickly start to formulate a hypothesis or a strategy, and you might have gained some insight from your momentary connection that would allow you to provide some input.
Sorry, my internet just went out for a second. I think assess the situation, though.
All right, makes sense.
What's that based on again?
That is roll superior.
All right, that is an 11.
Ah, excellent. So you get 2 questions. What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? You know that. What here is the biggest danger? You know that. Who here is most vulnerable to me? How could we best end this quickly?
I think, how could we best end this quickly?
With the specific intent of, like, is there a way to shut it off?
Yes.
Basically, yes. And might I suggest as the second question, what here can I use to shut it off?
Yes.
Yes. So, in the moments as it was trying to reprogram you, you were able to gain some insight into how this thing functions. This, the core is very similar to you. Like, the technology at the core is very similar to you, but instead of having an android body, it effectively is connected to this network of motile drones that can act independently. They can form themselves into, as you've seen, larger structures. So it can basically make a variety of different bodies and tools from its drones. The drones themselves, however, are not intelligent. It is absolutely the core. So, in alignment with what you heard Impasse say, you believe that if there was enough coordinated action from your allies, you might be able to yourself go down, interface with the core, and shut down its communication nexus. It would still be active, but if you could sever the link between the core and its drones, it wouldn't be able to do a lot. It's risky, but you think you are probably in a better position because there's not an off switch. There's nothing about this object or set of objects that suggests it was designed by a human creator. So there's not like a control pad or anything like that that would be suitable for a human. So you think you're probably in the best position to do the actual attempt to shut it off.
Okay. I will quickly mention that. Keep it distracted. I can shut off the main core's communication.
Yes.
If I get a path to it.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Just keep them off Tilly.
I have an idea. It may or may not work. But what if you and I teamed up and held them in place? This would allow Spectre to destroy them if she's able to. Also have Resonance go through and do it. And as long as, we hold them in place and hold them together telekinetically, that should allow Tilly to get to the core and shut it down.
Yeah, at least as many as we can, prioritizing the ones that are trying to go for Tilly.
What if I try to get them to focus on me so that you guys have a better chance at getting them all together and holding them in place? Because I have a feeling that if I deny them verbally their control, that maybe they will try to attack. Or if I acquiesce and say that I will serve them, they might come after me. And then that gives you guys a chance to grab them and gives Tilly a chance to get in there.
You can go for it. The objective is let Tilly, keep him off Tilly. Yep. So whatever you can do to keep him off Tilly, keep him off Tilly.
Right. I think between you and I and Resonance and Spectre, we can all do that if we work together. You and I specifically because you can mimic my powers.
So,
meaning you'll be able to help me hold them in place.
so it sounds like Spectre is going to create a diversion. Try to convince this to come after you. When that happens, if it does what it has done in the past and sends out a pseudopod, you know it's going to send a lot of its drones toward you. Paradigm and Impasse can attempt to lock those drones in place. Resonance can attempt to use their electromagnetic ability to disrupt the coordination between those remaining, giving Tilly a chance to zoom down and make contact with the core. Do I have that more or less correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So in sequence, Spectre, I need you to provoke someone. It's roll plus superior.
All right. Come on, dice. So that is a 7 total.
Excellent. I'm going to say they err. So, it has decided that the organics are dispensable. Now that it's had a chance to interface with Tilly. Like maybe it sort of knew what she was, but then as soon as it started to bore into her programming, potentially understood more about, like maybe it has finally found the thing that the other piece that it was looking for. So instead of when you say, "Oh, I'll work with you, I'll surrender," it does attract its attention because it's a partial success, but it's not going to slowly try to assimilate you. It's just going to try to squish you into pieces. So I need you to take a powerful blow, please. So roll plus conditions.
It's a 7.
All right. So do you lash out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action? Do you leverage influence over them to inflict a condition on one of your teammates? Do you give ground, giving your opposition an opportunity, or do you struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions?
I think I'd wind up giving ground.
Yeah.
Because I'm not expecting them to attack me.
Yeah, you're that makes perfect sense in the narrative. So what you do is you stand there, it's like, "No, come take me, I will serve you," expecting them to just kind of surround you. So you aren't braced for the sucker punch as this pseudopod just like slams into you and you go flying in the low gravity back, 100 yards. And then we see a close up as you kind of tumble, kicking up regolith everywhere. And just like there's a little kind of attenuated through your speakers as if you can hear in space. But yeah, you took a big one, but you did not mark any conditions, which is good. But you are, it's going to take you. You're going to have to collect yourself and rush back into the action. Cool. So, however, the ruse was effective in that it did send a significant portion of its mass out to try to squish Spectre, with giving Impasse and Paradigm a chance to act. So I think both of you are now going to directly engage a threat.
I just
11 plus danger.
Oh, I have -1 to danger. I almost had a 10, but it's a 9 because of the
danger is
-1.
the 0, so 11.
That's quite good. So, let's start with you, Paradigm, first. You trade blows with this creature. Like you're using your mind to try to force it into quiescence, and it's sitting out little smaller pseudopods trying to smack you away. You can choose to either resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I'm going to resist and avoid their blows and
Yep.
create an opportunity for the allies.
Excellent. SJ, you pick one. Resist or avoid the blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
I'm gonna, since she did the other two, maybe surprise the opposition. Maybe that way it focuses on us more. Well, that would still be kind of create an opportunity. Maybe take some of the drones away.
Sure. No problem. So you have an opportunity for your allies and you impress, and then you take something from them. So as Paradigm grabs a hold of a big chunk of it, we'll say it's a thicker piece closer to the core. The end that's beyond Paradigm's control is just flapping around, trying to smack Paradigm, and then it comes to try to smack you. And so you, instead of just freezing it in place, you effectively grab this big chunk of drones and kind of squish them into a ball and then fling the ball out into space. I mean, they'll eventually will land, but there's just this scattering of drones spraying out into the distance. You don't know if they're able to re-coordinate themselves, but you have effectively reduced its ability to do nasty things, at least for a moment. So I think Resonance is next up. Or did we lose Resonance?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here. Give me a sec. I'll come back. I will come back. Hold on. I'm just messing with my camera a sec. I'm not in my spacesuit anymore. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. I'll just come back.
And Resonance dies. This is when we find out that Resonance is also an android.
Can actually also breathe
Yes.
in space.
Why not? Stranger things have happened.
It's true. It's true. Okay, I'll just come back as my superhero self for a second.
That works.
And then I'll go back into my spaceship. There we go. I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. So I'm guessing I'm going to do some electric
You're going
stuff.
to directly engage a threat. Roll plus danger.
Yeah. Good job. I got rid of that thing, wasn't it? Okay, let's go. Oh, that's not a good roll. Danger. What's my danger? Oh shit. Okay. Yep. 4.
Ooh. There's not really even a way to get that up to a 7 to turn it into a hit. So mark experience.
Yeah.
So you send out a pulse, but it has begun to learn your tricks. Like it didn't occur to you to try to do something different. You just kind of repeat the process. So it's the same, we'll say it's the same frequency or the same intent behind the pulse that you sent into those that were surrounding Tilda to disrupt them.
I would also like to say that I think narratively for me, for Resonance, I'm actually quite tired because I've tried to unleash my powers for one. And then I have tried to pull this thing off impasse.
Yep.
And then I've tried to help Tilly. So I think maybe I also just didn't use the right amount of energy.
Yep. So you need to mark a condition.
Yeah. I'm going to go with hopeless.
Okay. And I would also like you to roll to take a
feels a
powerful
bit-
blow.
Okay. What's that say? I don't know what that says. Okay.
So it's a
to take
roll
powerful
plus
blow.
conditions.
And that just means like how many conditions you've got, yeah?
Yep. So this gets to be +1.
Okay. Yeah. So that's not good. I rolled something high this time. Wicked.
What's the total?
7.
That's not that bad. So, do you lash out verbally provoking a teammate to foolhardy action or taking advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on them? Do you give ground, giving your opposition opportunity, or do you struggle past the pain, marking 2 conditions?
Oh, I think I definitely give ground.
All right. So you send this energy pulse that's maybe a little bit weaker, and then a flight of these drones just comes out and like they slam into your suit, but instead of attempting to assimilate the suit, they just absorb the blast of your energy. So like as soon as it detects that there's another one of these pulses coming, it protects itself by sacrificing some of its drones. They sizzle and crackle and fall very slowly to the surface of the moon, but they've completely absorbed your energy blast, and you are now even more tired. You feel like, oh God, I can't do anything now, and begin to feel helpless. You do create an opportunity for the enemy. I'm going to say the opportunity for the enemy is that the scattering of drones that Impasse has just flung out into space, instead of clattering to the ground, will retcon. Some of them do, but a significant portion of them cease their movement, and then they link themselves together into a roughly circular mass, and then are going to fly directly at Impasse, attempting to knock you out and reduce the telekinetic control that is holding a good portion of its drones in stasis. So I need you to roll to take a powerful blow. So that's roll plus conditions.
7.
All right. Are you lashing out? Are you giving ground? Are you struggling past the pain and marking 2 conditions?
I'll struggle past the pain.
All right. Mark 2 conditions. For those in chat,
Okay.
obviously, as you resist, your number of conditions go up, which makes it harder for you to take the powerful blow. So eventually you'll just be taken out. But you have a lot of ways to reduce that in the meantime. So what conditions are you choosing?
We'll say maybe a little bit afraid, because I feel like it's getting a little bit too much for us. And I guess insecure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Tilly, it's all down to you.
All right. Is this directly engage a threat?
I think so.
Okay. Cool. I'm afraid. But I can have a +1 on this action because I test what I need to do.
Yes, you carry,
Okay.
which in this case is a -1 because you want to get lower. So no, sorry, that's delete that. Tired brain. Yes,
Okay.
you get a +1 on this action because you have assessed the situation. You carry +1 forward. Yes, specifically in relationship to this action. And remember, folks, we have minor boons, major boons, minor banes, major banes. This might be a good time for a boon.
It might be a great time for a boon. Looking at what I rolled, which is a 3.
Oh, yeah, that's not good at all.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yay, took work.
Yay.
Awesome. So why don't you just go ahead and just re-roll it. Why not?
Roll a 2.
No, it's much better now. Now it's a 10.
Haha.
That's
Yes.
a little bit better, yeah.
That makes a massive, massive difference. So
Thanks, Duckwork.
Thanks, Duckwork.
thanks, Doc. So you are going to, it's a hit, so you're going to trade blows. You can resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. Choose 2.
Well, I think it's resist or avoid their blows. That'd be cool. And also take something from them, which is the ability to control their drones.
Yes. Yes. So you do that. You, using your advanced combat subroutines, you see Tilly, I'm going to say probably use a little burst of solid light to launch yourself at high velocity, timing the movement of the few remaining little swarms of small robots around, timing yourself right for a gap. You fly directly towards and slam into this glowing green core, and then immediately begin to access its subroutines. The sphere reacts and starts pulling back as many of its drones as it possibly can to come and try to take control of you or pry you off or whatever, but you're moving more quickly than the human eye can even track. You're just zipping around. It's quite impressive. And yes, you are able to sever its local connection. And all the drones, I mean, except for those that are being held by telekinetic force, just slowly begin to drift down in response to the moon's gravity. And it pulses. Oomph. Oomph. Brighter and brighter. What do you do? It is apparently, at least momentarily, out of control of its drones. Tilly is held to the side of it. It's still levitating above the surface of the moon.
Huh. There's not a way to shut it off.
Well, you've accomplished your objective of shutting its communication down.
That's true.
At this point, Spectre, you have done a weird low gravity key up, gotten yourself back up, and are chugging yourself back to the group. So we'll see we see a sign of you rushing up, skidding to a stop at just the lip of this crater, and you see Tilly stuck to the side of this object as it begins to woof, woof, green glow. What do you all do?
Are the
okay?
drones still? The drones are
The
still.
drones are that they are no longer receiving any signals and are effectively quiescent.
Okay, cool.
But the core appears to still be active.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna start moving towards Tilly, towards the core.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll just chill on it in case it tries to turn on its stuff back on.
Okay, so
I don't
there
want it
any
to
way-
do that.
Can we unleash enough power using Resonance's power to shut this thing off, or
can
hurt
try
it bad enough?
Yep. You can feel whatever advanced AI is in this core attempting to bypass any blocks that you've put in place. So Tilly, it's really taking your focused attention to continue to reroute your signal to try to block off any of its ability to muster its forces. So you have an opportunity to strike at it. What do you do?
What does fling into easy relief mean, by the way, just so I know?
That's like go do something reckless and potentially self-destructive, go get drunk,
Okay,
go
just so
roller
I know.
skating, whatever your character would do that is just
Right.
like, eat an entire chocolate cake, do something that's
Right.
comforting.
Right. Just so I know.
Yep. The question was relevant to a way to clear certain conditions. Each
Yeah. I
condition
didn't know
has
what
its
it
own
meant.
clearance, yeah.
So I just didn't know what it meant.
And you can also clear conditions by comforting each other. But yes. Yeah. So do you pull out like a slice of chocolate cake that you have hidden in your suit and just like, I'll be right there?
No, I just wanted to know what it was.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
I know, like, for gameplay.
Yep.
I would recommend striking now. I don't know how long I can keep it offline. So either destroy it or destroy all of the drones.
Okay. So Spectre, Paradigm, if you guys could focus on the drones, Resonance, you want to try to hurt this thing?
I kind of get up and dust myself off because I'm on the floor. I think I'm exhausted. And I do have like a little pipe thing that I put in my mouth, and it feeds me like, you know, like a protein bar.
Yep.
But in a shake form.
Yep.
Like protein shake. Yeah. But it's like vegan.
Built-in smoothie maker.
Yeah, it's like a kale smoothie.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nicely chilled because it's in contact with space. Yes. Slightly radioactive at this point, but yeah.
Just to give me some energy.
Yep.
And I get up and I go, okay, let's do this. Let's do this.
All right. I'm going to call this an unleash your powers.
Yeah, I knew you would, and I've got -2 on that, bad boy.
Well, if you'd rather directly engage a threat, I could see either. I would just say that
it's
because
fine.
at the moment it's not a threat.
I agree narratively it's that, so it's fine. Okay, let's give it a go.
Yes.
Okay, be my friend. Come on, dice. Roll for you forever, then I don't have to roll. Okay. Oh, they bounced out the tray. Not a good roll, though. Is this shit roll? It was a bad roll. It's a bad roll.
So below 7?
Yeah, way below 7 because I got -2, haven't I? So
mine was also.
Mine was. It's freak, right?
Yeah.
Oh
yes.
wait, yeah, we can add. Oh, I have 0 freak, so nah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, freak.
Saw through.
Okay, well, Mark, go ahead and mark experience or potential.
I totally marked it. But
Excellent.
I also am going to say mechanically, maybe at this point, if we're trying to get rid of the core, maybe we should be using one of our teams. Oh, that's like that's going to put it up by 1, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have enough team to get all the way up.
Ignore me. I keep, because we've played so many things recently, I'm getting confused and I'm like, oh, it's the 12. No, it's not. Just ignore me, please.
Yeah, it's just you're super exhausted, and so there's just a wave of radio static coming out of you. It doesn't do a lot. So I need you to mark another condition.
Yeah. Angry, afraid, guilty, hopeless. I think insecure.
Okay.
Because now I'm failing.
Yep. Impasse, did you simultaneously try to borrow Resonance's powers and unleash them as well?
I did, and I got a 5.
You got a 5. Well, so you have 2 team left.
I think it's a 7 to succeed, though, right? You got 2 team.
Yeah.
But it would still just only make it temporary.
It would be temporary or unstable, but it's better than it not doing anything.
Yeah. I mean,
It's your choice.
I don't know. Can't we? Well, no, I'm not saying anything because we're in an RPG and it's Impasse's decision. Like
there's a minor boon.
Excellent. So we'll say that adds 1. So we'd only need to now spend 1 team. And this is not so much Impasse's choice as it's someone else's choice. What I would say is if, for example, if Resonance were to say to Impasse, you've got this, that would be sufficient to give Impasse a little boost in confidence that might translate into that extra point needed to make it successful. Not saying that you have to, but just saying in terms of narrative invocation of the spend of a team point to help an ally, that would be a particularly juicy one. Since your other teammates are out stomping on little drones, and you guys are right next to each other, that probably makes the most sense. You don't have to.
I can tell it's what everyone wants me to do.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, it's just,
We
like
got
the
a
big
minor
world,
boom.
something like that.
Yeah,
That's what put us up one, but we need one more.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it wasn't for the minor boon, I probably wouldn't. Not for because it's 2, and
Yeah.
I'm worried that there might be more to come.
Yeah.
But since it's only 1,
So what does residents say?
then what I will do is I will. So I tried to do it, and I think I fell to the ground. I was like this, and then I just, like in comic books where they dramatically look up, like, you might lose me because of this Snapchat filter, but where they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you got it, like,
Yep.
it's all you, and I say that.
Yes.
I say that,
And perhaps with
and then
I
say,
go ahead.
and then I say, I believe in you, and just send a tiny little spark of whatever energy I've got left. I just like a little sparks come out my fingers, like, just to be like you can do this.
Just that extra little bit, you reach out, grab onto Impass's leg because I'm sure you're crouched down, and just like put whatever last little bit of power you have into Impasse.
Yeah.
You've got this. Well, and suddenly, now everyone trusts the leader.
I mean, I'm still not calling them a leader.
It's fine. It's fine.
You wanna?
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Another team, but
I never said I didn't.
It's fine. That's true. It's true. It's true. It would be more like you agree that they're the leader, which you don't. But in this moment, we'll say narratively, it's just enough. It's just enough. So, yes.
Do I still mark a condition and potential, or no, because of the...
Go ahead and mark potential because you failed on the roll. But you are able to kick it up. You are going to mark a condition, and I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
What happens when you reach 5 potential?
You level up and you get to pick a new thingy.
Yep.
Okay.
Based on your playbook PDF, you can choose to shift labels or move. You can move things around. You can add a move from your playbook. You can pick up a move from an alternate playbook, etc. So each one's there's similar options for everyone, but each one's a little bit different. So just check and see what your PDF says.
Okay.
So yes, so this moment kind of gels in your mind. It's still very, very challenging and tough, and it's a very chaotic moment. But you do mark a condition, and the effect is unstable. So you, and Tilly, you can confirm this. You fry whatever transmitters were being used to maintain control. So the few that it looked like it might be trying to gain control of just kind of zip off randomly into space. It becomes no longer a coordinated swarm, but just utter chaos, as half of them are flapping around on the ground, half of them are flying off in random directions. But it is unstable because neither of you has had enough time to study this thing to realize that it has a secondary communication system. So coming out of this ornate spherical shell, very close to Tilly's head, is this long, wicked spike. Like, we'll say you see an aperture open and just dodge to the side is this like 2 foot long, very narrow, thin, needle-like spike comes out. And then that portion of the shell rotates out toward space. And then there's a burst of communication to a destination unknown. But it takes the sphere's entire reserve of energy to send a very powerful signal. I would say, Tilly, no world needed. You're picking up Tachyon Emissions. So this is a signal that will travel faster than light to an unknown destination. And you can probably guess that it was some sort of alert or alarm to who knows what. But the sphere appears to be deactivated at the moment. And you guys are kind of beat up. What do you do?
All right. The sphere's offline. There's drones everywhere. I'll just scoop some of them up in my bucket and we'll put them on the ship, I guess.
Okay.
And take it back to get researched?
Sure. What do you do? What do you do with the core?
Yeah, so I was about to say, is there a way for us to transport the core?
Yeah. It's not that big.
Second bucket.
Yes.
Need so many buckets.
Well, it's easy enough because you can just shape, like a what are those little sand shovels with the sieves. You can just do that and just scoop up a bunch of them and pile them into the back. And of course, there are crates and things in the storage unit that you can fill. So you gather several dozen of these drones and then sort of wedge this core in, strap it down. What do you do now?
I'm gonna check on Resonance and help her get to the ship.
Yeah. Resonance is not injured, but is quite drained.
Yeah.
From the repeated
I'm gonna
uses.
help her get back onto the ship and strapped in and ready to go, and just tell her, just rest.
Do you say anything to comfort and support Resonance?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what do you say?
I'm gonna tell her, you did an amazing job out there. You did really well. This is not something that I expected from you. I expected this to go a completely different direction. But I'm happy that it's gone this way, that you're different from how I've seen you my entire life. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
I would like you to roll to comfort or support. That's a roll plus mundane.
All right. Four and 2, 6, so 5.
I think Resonance that you're conscious and you're aware, but maybe are just not in the mood to be comforted. The words still have an impact on you, right? I mean, you're someone who has been not super nice and very judgmental about you has effectively said that maybe they're wrong. So it has I would say a narrative impact, but not a mechanical one. Like maybe it's just going to take you some time to process. But the gesture was still proffered.
Yeah, at some point on the trip back, I'm definitely gonna want to have a chat with Resonance.
All right, so are you gonna live on the moon forever?
No. Do we know? Did Tilly tell us about a communication going off?
Oh, you all saw it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it. And I will say, yeah, it's traveling faster than light. It will reach someone out there, I say, pointing in the direction that it went. We will probably need some backup. That's not great, I don't think.
Yes.
Maybe we should just contact the Star Trek people. They can handle it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, I've heard this. Star Trek would handle it, I think, but unfortunately, that is a television program and will not assist us, I think, in this issue.
Yes.
I say we head back, try to see what we can figure out from all this tech we just got.
All right.
Especially maybe light tech, since it apparently could interface with Tilly and everything.
All right.
Yes.
Make sure she's good to go.
So you climb back aboard the ship. You are, you can, again, advanced autopilot. It's very easy for Tilly to operate. You can basically just say, take us home, and the ship will do so. But you do have roughly a day in space to, deal with your bruises and to have whatever conversations that you would like to have or basically to attempt to clear some conditions because you have a sense that it's not over. So we already have one scene called out. So Impasse is going to take a moment as residents is resting in their quarters. Impasse will arrive, and what happens?
First, I'm just gonna, check in like, hey, how are you doing? You feeling better?
Well, just to set what I was like before is because obviously I'm feeling hopeless and insecure. I'm at this point pretty broken, and I've gone pretty much silently off to my quarters, and I don't really want to talk to anyone.
Well,
because I feel like a failure, and I feel useless.
yes.
So just so you, okay, so when you come in, I would say that I'm not even sitting, I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm kind of almost in a fetal position, but like sat up, but in the very corner, like if I've got like a chair or a bed or something in there, I am sat on the floor with the bed back behind me, and just kind of like not a way that you would have ever have seen me before.
Right.
And as you walk in, I don't even lift my head to look at you. And this is what I look like when I'm not being Lala or thingy. So I just kind of, yeah, quiet.
I'm just gonna kind of press on and be like, I just wanted to say thank you. Obviously, my background, I'm not good with the whole media thing. I didn't recognize it was an advantage. Usually Impact and I are not friends of the media. They, we have some supporters, but usually the media tries to demonize us. So we never use that outlet as an advantage. But it was really nice having someone on the team that actually understands that world and could use it to our advantage. I just appreciate you using it during the media storm that hit me. I didn't even know what to do in that situation. And you were also able to get a spaceship for us, so we wouldn't have even been able to get to the moon, at least not as quickly as we did, to start figuring this stuff out. And obviously your power set is super useful. It let me having that power set to draw some from actually gave us a lot of opportunities to attack and options. So
It sounds like you're rolling to comfort or support to me. That's a plus mundane.
they do have mundane, luckily.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my mundane? Okay, with mundane 9.
Excellent. So, with a 9, you hear this resonance. So, you may mark potential or clear a condition. You may shift labels if you then, but if you open up. So the question is, you hear this, it is, that it's sincere. You feel this. This is basically Impasse telling you how they view you. And it is positive. It is complimentary. It is also all true. So the question is, do you open up? Do you talk about the experience or how you feel or any challenges that you face? And if you do, you may mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels.
Oh, someone redeemed a minor boon.
That would take it up, in fact, to a 10, which you can add team to the pool or clear a condition yourself. think probably the latter.
What's like
Please.
impasse can?
Yeah, impasse can. In addition to giving you an opportunity to open up so that you can clear a condition, which is probably what you would do. This moment of reaching out also helps impasse feel better and helps them clear a condition. But it's on you, residents, to decide whether or not you take this opportunity to open up, given that your impression of impasse might change as a result of their choice to reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Mechanically, the system encourages you to open up because it creates a dramatic kind of bonding moment, but it's still a player choice.
Okay. I think I sit quietly for a while, like just listening to what impasse has to say. And I'm not at ease to speak to impasse, but then I feel the sense that impasse is going to leave. And then I just say, why are you talking to me like this? You never talk to me like this.
I know I can come off a kind of, I don't know the word for it, but I'm very mission focused, and I don't really. I've been trained a certain way of how to act and how to do things, and social media, like I said, is not something we do with Impact and myself. And so when I see you doing things like that, I don't see it as an advantage. I see it as a distraction. But I recognize now that it does have its advantages. And, I'm in a bit of a tough spot right now with Impact. And you could have easily, because of the media issues, just left. You could have been instructed to put distance between myself and Impact to protect your own image, and you didn't. You decided to help us and help me. And, even when we were on the moon, you clearly left everything out on the field. And I just want you to know I appreciate it, even though I don't always communicate that.
Thank you. It is a lot harder than everybody thinks. It's hard when everything around you isn't real. And
how do you mean not real?
Like my whole life, I've been something that everybody else has made me. Like I've always been what either my mother wants me to be or what they want me to be, as in the fans, the managers, like I'm their mold. I'm not who I am. I've never known who Isla is. So, I do all those things, but that's a job. Like, that's what I have to do. So I get that you don't get it. It took me a long time to get it, but that's been my life. And that's why I get it now. I'm glad it helped you because that's what I want to do. I want to be something. I want to give back in a way that's not superficial. I want to be part of something real that matters. And so I appreciate you seeing that in me. And that's what I see in you. And I also want you to know that you're enough and you don't always have to be in Impact's shadow. Like, you proved that you were enough and that you are a hero. You're not a sidekick. So thanks.
Perfect. Well, narratively, it makes perfect sense for you both to clear a condition.
I'm just clearing the one that from the 10, or am I clearing one from what she just said as well?
You're because you rolled a 10, you also clear a condition.
I'm clearing 2 conditions. One from the 10 and one from what she said, or just the one from rolling
That
the 10?
was effectively her opening up, so just the one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what.
I'd say insecure then.
Yeah, Resonance, why don't you roll to, because maybe this is like a mutual comfort, because you kind of took it there with the narrative. So roll plus mundane, and we'll see.
I actually got quite high. I got a 9. So my mundane's actually -1 because obviously I'm a star.
Cool.
If you look very mundane, so 8.
Good. Then in an impasse, yes, you do clear 2 conditions, because that did kind of turn towards the end with mutual support. So that makes good sense to me. So you clear the one from being a good leader and reaching out and comforting one of your crew, and then also one from receiving comfort in return. Any other scenes as we fly back toward the Earth?
Yeah, I'm got some questions for Tilly, and I'm probably going to drag Paradigm into this just to see if we can figure out future stuff, because, like, I mean, maybe we knew that Paradigm was from the future before. I can't remember if that was established or not, but, like, the talk of,
Paradigm
like,
says they're from the future. So
yeah, but, like, this talk of, like, things are about to go down when we get back, stuff's going bad, and we just fought this alien thing, and now it's sent out a message that could bring more aliens. So I kind of want Paradigm's input on that too, but also, like, this thing was interfacing with Tilly, and I'm concerned about why that is.
Okay.
So I'd probably, with Empaths and Resonant off doing their thing, I'd be like, Tilly, what was that?
You actually find Tilly standing in front of it, just kind of like contemplating it. Obviously not interfacing or anything with it, just looking at the container that we have put it into. And she will respond and say, "It's an alien device."
Okay, why? I mean, you followed this trail to the moon from Lytech, right? So why was it at Lytech? Because you can't tell me that nothing happened there. There's no way that this just so happened to blow a window out of a leading scientific building that you also came out of.
I also came to a similar conclusion.
So, I mean, did they just... Because there had to be something that they were there for. Do you think it was you?
Were they created there? And then escaped?
I don't believe that they were there for me. I don't believe that they were created there. I have been told not to say more.
Okay. Is that a trust issue, or is that a protection issue?
I turn to face Spectre directly and place my hands on their shoulders and say, "I trust each and every one of you on this team, but there is another person that I trust almost as much as you, and I will not break my word to her."
Okay. That's what I needed to know. Paradigm, do you recall anything about an alien invasion or anything like that going wrong before they started hunting supers? Like, do you know what the event was that caused Resonance to act out?
Maybe?
You you know that there was a disruption. You know that it was determined to have been a ruse, a distraction. And thus far, you have assumed that the interruption in all the electronic devices just yesterday, and how that was assumed to have been a distraction to enable Impact to execute the Silver Shade. That fits perfectly with your recollection. And then you know that there was some sort of very destructive event that was very, very public, and that Resonance was at the center of it and was effectively blamed for the disruption. But the details are hazy because it was quite destructive. And like there wasn't a lot of like none of the history that you've read suggests that exactly what happened, other than it was a international incident. And quickly following that, there was legislation to take powered people, take some freedoms away from powered people, and then over time, that prejudice snowballed.
I'm gonna relay all of that to Spectre. That's a lot to repeat though. So
if I was to hypothesize paradigm, this device nearly took over my core programming, this alien device. The consequences of that would be devastating. I believe my form is more powerful than whatever this object is. It could very well be, with the distance that we travel and the timeline that you're giving us, that my form as a conduit for an alien attack could well cause an incident that, with resonance power combined, could easily cause something devastating that there would be no knowledge of, without having to signal to something light years away.
Yeah.
Using what we have, Tilly, do you think you could build up your own defenses to where it can't use you like that?
Because
we don't know. I mean, I would say take it to Light Tech and let them take a look at it, but we don't know how much time we're going to have left when we get there. And I'd rather take the time now and be ready than risk having you become something that you're not.
Is there a way, Tilly, that you can contact your creator and have them come here?
To space?
I'm going to assume this isn't like a super secret base.
Well, you're currently in space, so
we're in space right now.
Well, then we'll have them meet us at the base.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that we are taking time to fly back. If they meet us there, that's cutting out time that we have now. If we can even just get a jump start on this and then have them help us finish it when we get there.
That's what I'm talking about. We start up here and then down there we get, because we should still have communications with wherever we're landing. I mean, that would make sense. They're gonna have to know that we're coming back. But if we work on it here and get in touch with whomever we need to at Lytech, have them meet us someplace so that we can, get more brains on this, because this is honestly, this is beyond me. I see glimpses of what has happened. I've read the history books. My parents have talked about it a lot. We were made to hide, and it's always been resonance is the trigger for it. That's what I know off the top of my head, but I don't know for certain if Tilly was a part of it or not.
Something that big is going to be a chain reaction of some kind. and we just need to figure out how to sever one of the chains so that we don't hit that point.
Yeah.
But I can contact the doctor. She might know. Most of her equipment is likely at Litech, but she may be able to do something elsewhere.
Or even just coach you through it on what you could possibly do. That would be something.
And you know that Dr. Cullifer is taking a break from all the publicity and working at her home laboratory, which you know to be quite well outfitted. And it should be immaterial for you to use the ship systems to send a message. I mean, there's going to be a bit of a time delay.
Yeah.
But
I'll excuse myself to make that phone call.
all right.
Can I say that I go and like pig out in my room to clear my condition?
Sure.
Because I'm just gonna go chow down on like 6 bags of Doritos and some rock stars.
You're like, I this is enough. You gorge yourself, make a huge mess. Just you wreck one of the guest suites in William Shatner's.
It looks like my room back home now, where it's just like piles of garbage.
Retro futuristic spaceship. You've totally trashed the hotel room. Candy wrappers everywhere. Lovely. So sure. Tilder, yes, you send a communication on a private channel to Dr. Cullifer, and after a minute, Dr. Cullifer will reply. We don't have to RP the time delay, but there's about a minute's worth of time delay, I think.
Hello, doctor.
Where are you calling from, Tilly?
Space.
Oh.
And I'm just going to summarize what happened with the key emphasis of we found the device. It definitely was sentient and was going to do something, and it tried taking over my core programming is what I think are the key bits.
But it was unsuccessful?
It was unsuccessful.
Well, I think Dr. Cullifer will convey that if it all rests on how adaptive it is. You have some information that it's adaptive. And if it indeed shares similar technology with your core, which I mean it does, because that's what Litech used as an inspiration. But they did make some significant alterations, right? I mean, it's reverse engineered, so it's not like it's pure alien technology. So it may be that the differences are enough to at least slow its ability to try to control you. But I would say she can't think of a foolproof way other than deactivating and disassembling you, which she would prefer not to do, to absolutely guarantee that it couldn't, given enough time, assimilate you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And I also mentioned it sent a signal into space.
Ah, okay. She will then ask you to wait. It's probably 30 minutes. And then she will come back and say she got in contact with some of her contacts at the DoD, because obviously Litech is a big defense contractor. And while they will not give access, they supposedly won't give access to their deep space telescopes and early threat detection systems directly to Litech. They are on alert, and they have detected some spatial anomalies near the orbit of Saturn. Like just in the past 5 minutes.
Oh, that's close. Relatively speaking.
Yep. And I think while you're having this conversation, the DoD is reporting to Dr. Cullifer. It's not public knowledge, but they have detected objects moving at a rapid clip toward Earth. So multiple origin points and then large objects speeding toward Earth. They are moving faster than your spaceship. But you can do the calculations to determine that you will be able to make landfall before they arrive, but not a long time before they arrive.
All right.
So
Well,
it's probably another alien invasion.
yes, it does. It does seem like that.
So Dr. Cullifer certainly will say, well, we have, Lytech has protocols to enact, and they have other Tilder units to go ahead and activate in defense of the city. Although they'll have to do what they can to harden their systems against intrusion, because I think your concern about what would happen if you were suborned by the alien threat. I mean, they're not as capable as you, but they could be quite dangerous if they were in the hands. So they're probably activating some sort of kill switch protocol in case they get taken over. But still, it's worth it to have more able defenders. And, through the DoD and various other organizations, Aegis is likely aware and will begin notifying the appropriate supers who are best prepared to help and defend the Earth / Halcyon City from just the most recent alien invasion, because this happens every week. But every one is, potentially the end of the world and worse than the ones before. This makes the tentacle monsters look like nothing. So
Quite.
This is multiple vessels of some unknown configuration speeding their way toward Earth. You might even get some sort of slightly grainy telescopic image, and it looks very much like the sphere that you had interacted with, only significantly larger. And it doesn't take Tilly's computer brain and tactical subroutines to understand that the sphere, before it shut down, effectively called for reinforcements. So yes, you are in a race to Earth, or you can fly off and just let whatever happens happen.
I mean, I got an afraid condition to clear. We can just leave,
Whoa.
circle back in a few years, right? You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You could just get into the airlock and decompress and just float out in space, and you can just watch the whole thing play out if you'd like.
Nah, it's fine.
So, what do you do? What other scenes need to happen before you arrive back at Earth?
So I assume like the DoD and everything, if they're tracking this, they've probably already like Aegis is tracking this and setting up a defense and stuff already, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because that's my concern as impasse. I'm like, this is above us. We need some help while we're figuring out this other stuff. Like, because we're not gonna have enough time to look at all this equipment and be fighting off an alien invasion at the same time.
Yes. So,
yeah.
May I ask a question?
yes.
Would songwriting classes easy relief
Sure.
for my character?
Sure.
Okay. So I just want to say that a little scene for me is that I feel like I overheard some of the discussion between Paradigm, Spectre, and Tilly.
Sure.
And I heard about Paradigm keep referring to me as being like the end of the earth. And I'm still feeling hopeless, although I'm not feeling insecure.
Yeah.
That led me to write some songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my little room.
Yep.
With like, yeah.
As a way.
You went all Taylor Swift on us.
Yes, as a way of self-comfort. So sure.
A way to process my emotions.
Yep.
So I wrote a song called
actually a diss track.
burning star or something like that. What's the star that burns out? What's that? A supernova. Is it called a supernova?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's called Supernova, and it's about a star that burns out and takes everyone with them.
Yeah. That consumes all of its fuel, and yet people keep telling it to burn brighter and brighter until eventually it explodes and collapses into a black hole.
Yeah. And that's what it's about. It's about the creation of a black hole through a supernova.
Yes. Brought on by the constant expectation of everyone for the sun to shine brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
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 Love it.
So that was my song.
Love it. Anyone else have any scenes or actions they want to take to comfort each other or clear conditions on your own?
I think we're all clear of conditions besides Tilly, right?
And Tilly's option of decompressing literally is probably not a good one.
I mean, I think I might go and check on Tilly when I'm feeling a little bit better because I'm the only one who knows.
That's true. And you've used your creative outlet to clear your condition. So you no longer you feel like there's hope again. So how do you interact with Tilly?
I think I bring my Apple Mac Pro with me. And I think I first say to Tilly, like, I hope you're okay. Like, I hope you're okay. And I hope that wasn't too much. It seemed very scary. And I know you don't feel emotions, but I still think that would have been a lot. And then I say, I tell you what, plug yourself into my MacBook, my Apple Mac Pro.
All right.
And then what I do is I find like music that personifies certain emotions, and I look for the digital code of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to Tilly, look at this code. And then I say to her, this is what fear might feel like. This is what anger might feel like. This is what sadness might feel like. And I'm saying, I'm sorry if that's how you felt. And I hope you know that we care about you. And then I play her a song that has like a relaxed, calm, and I give her the code for that too. And I also find a code of like a cat with a hat on it. Like a really cute cat with a hat on it. And I get the code of the picture.
Yep.
And I send that over to Tilly.
You grab a whole bunch of encouraging memes and then feed them into
generally
Tilly.
Cat and dog related ones. Yeah. Big guns. That's and SJ, they're definite. Yeah, the ones like that.
Yep.
For sure.
And Tilly is able to,
and you know, like a dog being a friend with a monkey, like those, like like to try and say like robots can be friends with humans because look at this like turtle who's best friends with, well, tortoise that's best friends with a chihuahua.
Yeah, ducks riding goats, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And Tilly, you are able to effectively write an algorithm that enables you to better understand. It's like, what do all these pictures have in common? And so you are distracted by analyzing them to try to get, it's like, what would motivate people to use such a wide variety of different images and yet have the same emotional response to them? So you are able to process all of that. I think that is a very creative use of attempting to comfort someone. So residents, let's see how good you are at comforting and supporting. This is a roll plus mundane. I'm gonna say it still has narrative effect. We'll just see if it has a mechanical effect as well.
You can't see. It's a 6 and a 3.
All right. And what's your total?
I think I have a -1, so it's
Someone did a boon
8.
as well.
But you have,
and then someone did a
that will get you the minor boon
9.
will get you a 9.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to, and it could be either of you, would any of you like to use team to kick that up to a 10? You don't have to.
I mean,
I'm
doesn't
saying.
that just, if it kicks it up to a 10, doesn't it just make me remove one and or add a team anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's no point because I've removed mine by
Okay, cool.
Writing songs.
Yes. So, awesome. So that is a hit. You hear them, Tilly. Do you open up?
I do. I complete my analysis of the pictures and I say, thank you. Thank you, residents. This means a lot to me. It was scary. It made me very, angry. I say, I'll flip up a image. You know the recent Pixar movie with the emotion characters, and there's that one. Looking angry. I'm like, yes, that's anger.
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Yes, the angry man there, and it made me afraid. Like this adorable kitten who's afraid of the cucumber. But
are these memes playing on my computer as you say them?
Yes. As I say it shows up on the computer. But I think I'll be able to handle the situation.
Good. And you do in fact feel better. So I assume you're clearing the afraid condition.
Yes.
Excellent.
Still angry. Will break something in the future.
Of course. As you should be. So excellent. So as your borrowed retrofuturistic rocket ship makes its way closer and closer to Earth, you are passed by a wing of flying superheroes. These are the kind of the cosmic variety heroes who can function well in space. You see them rushing past you to go and address the threat. There are a few other, Earth is, as we've established, due to primarily the near constant alien invasions and time incursions, etc. This is a much more technologically advanced planet than our current Earth. Although it is in roughly the same timeline. You see some various ships, some piloted by alien superheroes who have made Earth and Halcyon City their home, some actually cobbled together by Aegis and other governmental and pseudo-governmental agencies. So Earth is marshaling its forces. But you have clearance and you make your way, given that the ship isn't armed, there's not a lot that you can do from space. So, however, I would say that, Tilly, with your sensors, you can see that the defense is somewhat effective. There are roughly 40 of these ships / devices / entities. And by teaming up with each other, there's some... We just get long shots of superheroes zipping back and forth and I-beams and various different manifestations of powers. And some of these, some of the heroes are, knocked well off into space, and others are able to, punch through the outer shell of drones and destroy the core of some of these devices. So it is a pitched battle in space, but the defenders are having to give ground. Just because these devices are not, they are very robust and they are very focused on their aim. And although many of them are disabled, there is still a threat to deal with on Earth. You make landfall at the spaceport. What do you do?
Just so you know, when I started to like take video outside of the
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
Yeah. Just so that like I've got it to post for later.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
no doubt.
Especially because it's an exclusive.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no news reporters up there.
Yes, that you know of, except for the ones that are actually super who disguise themselves as news reporters.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
damn them.
You make landfall. What do you do?
We're going to take the drone thing we have to the doctor's home lab to study, our place to study, somewhere to study.
Okay, you're gonna move that, and you're in contact with Dr. Collifer. Dr. Collifer will say that although her labs are at her home are good, she wants you to meet her at the Lytech building because they have even more advanced facilities there, and there are lab assistants, etc., who can help.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Excellent. So how are you getting? Are you going to call a Suber?
Yes, we're going to call a Suber.
Okay. So someone gets on their phone and uses the Suber app. And yes, a little Toyota pulls up. It's like a Yaris. So you have to like all cram in the...
It's a clown car.
You strap this alien sphere out the hatchback so it doesn't fall out. The bottom of this Yaris is kind of almost grinding because of the weight. But collectively, you're able to make your way relatively quickly to the Lytech Industries building. There are lab assistants and employees who know to expect you, and they will come and clamp some anti-grav devices to the side to make it easy to maneuver, and they will take it up a freight elevator to floor 37, where the labs that are capable of understanding this alien technology reside. What do you do?
While all of that is going on, and knowing that there is a possible imminent threat, I'm going to assume that Paradigm knows her mother and her mother's maiden name.
Yeah, your mother would be a little girl right now.
Yes. At which point Paradigm's going to turn to Resonance and very quietly go, do you have a way to get in touch with Lucy Lawson?
I'm like, I can pretty much get in touch with anyone, but who is that and why?
That's my mom in the future, and I'd like to protect her here.
So for clarification, Resonance, Lucy Lawson was your co-star. You're one of the child co-stars I guess, which makes her a little bit older than I said, but she's still young. She was one of your co-stars and your rival.
Hold on. Let me just double check this.
If I'm not mistaken.
Good.
If I am not mistaken.
Yeah, Lucy Lawson. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously the reaction is going to be different.
Yes.
The reaction is going to be like, what did I used to call Lucy? Nothing. I didn't have it written down. Okay. So
Lulu and Lala?
Yeah, probably right.
Yeah.
So when Paradigm says that to me, then obviously pretend I didn't say what I just said. I will be like, you want to get in touch with Lucy Lawson? Why? like that. And then obviously you probably tell me the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be like a very awkward thing because, you know, she knows of the rivalry between Lucy and Lala, and she's going to be like, well, she's my mom in the future. And that's going to clear up a whole bunch of reasons as to why Paradigm doesn't particularly like resonance. Because she's been raised to think that way.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I have Lulu's number in my phone somewhere. But if your mom is in the future, then surely she survives.
That there's the chance that she may not. That me being here could change the future.
But then you being here and messing with the timeline.
Yeah, it's very messy. I get that. I need her. And
you can't speak to her.
No.
Oh my god.
Because she doesn't know who I am here. I've never met her here. I've actively gone out of my way.
I mean, so
avoid her.
You want me to stop what we're doing, finding the alien technology. I'm just trying to get this straight. To go out of my way to protect one person on Earth who happens to be Lucy Lawson.
Yeah. I know. It's fine if you don't. I'll just... And she's just going to turn and walk away and go stand in a corner looking very, very dejected and extremely uncomfortable.
Okay.
Because she essentially, she made herself vulnerable right there in letting that out. And...
Well, what does resonance do, though?
I watch her walk away, and then I'm like, oh. And then I just ring the thingy, the agency, and just go, Michelle?
Oh, hi, Lala.
I'm like, Michelle, give me Lulu. I have to speak to Lulu.
Really?
I know.
Should we be drafting a press release? Is this going to make it to the evening papers?
No, don't ask. It's fine. It's fine. If there's an issue, Michelle, I'll tell you.
All right.
It's fine.
Well, hold on. I'll bring her up and then I'll connect you.
Okay.
And you hear her go, hi, Lulu. It's been so long. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk. I know we haven't had any offers recently, but we do have a little bit of a situation that maybe you can help us with. How about this? I'll just patch you through. And then you hear a click and you hear Lulu's voice. Hello, Michelle? Are you still there?
Okay, and I go, Lucy's not Michelle. It's Isla.
What do you want?
Okay. I'm just going to go straight to it. So yeah, events are happening. Some bad stuff's happening at the moment. Has anybody said anything to you yet about what's happening currently with all the supers?
I mean, there's like some training exercise or something. Why are you asking about that?
Yeah, it's not a training. Lucy, you know what all the stuff that we've had to hide.
Yeah, I know. You're like super important, and you're like, I'm not just a movie star and a music star, but I'm also like a superhero and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Lucy, look, I'm talking about what we had to do and all the stuff that we had to do when we were younger and how we had to be and, things they had to say and all this kind of thing. You know that?
Yeah. Okay. What's your point?
So, things aren't always what they say they are, right?
Yeah.
And I know
I definitely know some things and some people aren't what they seem to be.
Okay. Yeah. But this situation is a lot more dangerous than it seems. And a close friend of mine wants you to be safe. Okay? You're important to people, Lucy. Okay? So I get Michelle to make sure that you're somewhere safe for the next 48 hours.
Is this some sort of trick?
No, it's not a trick. Lucy, we haven't spoke to each other in so long. Why would I ring you up and just do this? Think about that.
I mean, I guess you have a point. Sure,
like,
whatever.
We used to be friends. I don't like, it is what it is. And just please trust me. My friend wants you to be safe. And, you know, whatever's happened between us, I still, you know, I still care about you. Like, I still don't want you to be hurt.
Look, if this is some sort of publicity trick,
no.
I am going to track you down. But
okay.
But yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, have Michelle set something up.
You won't even see it. You won't even see it in the press. I promise you. There'll be nothing. I won't do anything with this. I promise you.
Well, I believe that when I see it. But yeah, tell Michelle whatever.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
We get a scene of you know, her talking to some friends. Like, I don't know, man. She's so weird. It's probably a trick, but you never know. It might be on the up and up. So then you let Michelle know to send a car for Lulu.
Yeah. But I don't ask Michelle to send her to my base because I think that would be, she just wouldn't go. Yeah. So that's why I said somewhere safe. So that like a bunker, like a well fitted out bunker or something. Like,
and the agent, I mean, this is a PR agency in Halcyon City. They absolutely have that stuff. So you basically say, you know, you have basically a slot in one of these super advanced, you know, hardened bunkers just through dint of your celebrity, and you basically say, just give her my slot, evacuate her.
Yeah, because that's where they want to send all the celebrities and the rich people, because you know, so long as they survive.
Yeah, Lulu exactly. Lulu wouldn't rate based on her own fame, but you basically say, you know, give her my ticket, and go ahead and get her pulled in. So Michelle will do so. So Lulu is whisked off to a very fancy spa, basically, but underground. A mile underground. So, yay, Lulu will survive.
Thank God.
Unless the planet is cracked open.
Yeah, and then I just turn to Paradigm.
But before she turns around, Paradigm, you know, watching the whole interaction, just like rushes up and hugs her from behind as tight as she can and just goes, "Thank you."
Okay. And I just, like, tap her hand, you know, like when someone hugs you from behind, you tap the hand and you're just like, and I just say, don't worry about it.
Obviously, then I'm gonna let go so that it doesn't get super awkward.
Don't mention it to anyone ever.
Yes, big guns, exactly like the Marduk House one.
Yes. So the good news is you have successfully ensured, well, maybe, that Paradigm will be born by protecting Lulu. All right.
Well, I didn't want to make some kind of time loop, because if she wasn't born, then would this situation have happened? And then I would have got very confused, and it was all just too much pressure.
Yes. So the lab attendants have begun doing what they can to gain access into the sphere. They and Dr. Collifer is communicating with you, Tilder. Still trying to keep things under wrap, but we'll confirm with you privately that this is indeed the same technology as the remnant that they found in Oklahoma. So, and through extension, and she's still getting reports through her sources in the DoD, all of the objects that are converging on Earth are of similar design, only quite large. So clearly this is a representative, and I'm sure you share what the message that the object said about this Steel Swarm. It is not a alien threat that Dr. Colifer or Lytech, or as far as she knows, the DoD is aware of. But it's clear that this is some sort of very strange, mechanized alien armada bent on who knows what. Thus far, none of your interactions with the alien intelligence have been outright destructive, like firing laser beams or whatever. It appears to be much more bent on disruption and infiltration than outright destructive force. However, they are quite capable at defending themselves, and a number of the vessels sent from Earth have been damaged or incapacitated. Their tactics appear to be quite advanced, and they've been quite successful at luring some of the supers into ambushes that, while are guaranteed to end in the destruction of the spheres that are participating in that action, the net effect is that it slows down the super response, giving several of these spheres an opportunity to make it into close Earth orbit. You are now tracking via just normal television. You can see these spheres appearing very rapidly. They appear to be heading toward Halcyon City. There is ground fire that is slammed from, some superheroes have some of this stuff. There are various other, security agencies like Aegis. There are some private individuals and companies that maintain their own independent planetary defense capabilities. So as people take shelter within Halcyon City, you see various different projectiles and particle beams, etc., launched from various different points around the city. You can monitor that, many of these are direct hits, but they do appear, and they, appear to be destroying some large number of the drones that surround these spheres. But it feels like it's too little too late. Eventually, with many of the spheres having taken damage, there's 4 that are in orbit. 3 of them, the shell of drones abandons them, and you can just see the central cores just kind of lose power. But all of those drones surround the final sphere, forming a multiple layered shell around it as it rapidly enters Earth's orbit, or Earth's atmosphere. Some of the drones are incinerated immediately, but there are potentially hundreds of thousands of these small diamond-shaped drones that form an effective heat shield. What do you do in the 30 seconds before it reaches the center of Halcyon City?
Have the scientists learned anything of interest with what the thing we brought back, or not really?
That could certainly be a read a bad situation.
I would love to read a bad situation.
Seems like it might be prudent.
Yeah, otherwise I feel like we're just buying time.
Oh, that sounds like it might be ominous.
Assess the situation.
Let's see. I only got a 6. Wait.
We did not use Hugs to All's minor boon. I don't think. Because we didn't need it.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I got a 7.
Okay. We still have Hugs to All's minor boon. 7 will take it up.
Done another one as well.
Oh.
Yeah, they just did another one.
Oh, excellent.
I think there's a...
Hugs has done 2, and then there's a Bane for Paradigm as well.
All right. So we've got 2 minor boons that will hold and a minor bane, correct?
Yep.
All right. So that will get you, however, you don't need to use it because that gets you up to a 7. What question would you like to ask? Or I could make a suggestion.
Yes, make a suggestion.
So, because what the scientists are doing is they're attempting to analyze how the sphere exercises control. And in particular, like they understand that it can interface with and interfere with technology. But they also were paying attention to the fact that these drones attempted to interface with your suits. So there's a combination of a set of carrier waves that enable these objects to interact with each other and act in a coordinated fashion. There's one that is electromagnetic, but combined with the readings that they were able to take, just the kind of residue and just the little bit of data they were able to gather when the Light Tech Industry building was breached originally, and understanding like how the wall was atomized and the strange effect that the humans that were in the vicinity felt, like they became very disoriented and lost some memory. There is also a sonic component. It appears that this device is capable of emitting a series of very complex sonic signals that interfere with people or organic life forms. That is useful intelligence to you, because disrupting the electromagnetic carrier wave is something that you have already done with some success. Disrupting the sonic one is not something you have attempted because you weren't able to.
We were in space.
Yeah, because you were in space. But I would say because it's successful, you realize that perhaps what the drones were attempting to do with your allies was to create an interface so that they could exercise this other effect on them, effectively to neutralize them or something. So combined with your own direct observation and the data that the scientists are able to provide with you, you now better understand the threat and potentially an avenue to neutralizing it. So that's what you do. Anyone else? Fear descending and decelerating. Like it's a fireball in the afternoon sky, but you can tell from the telemetry that it is slowing itself.
And it's way bigger than the one we dealt with?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Impasse.
What's up?
Would Impact happen to have any sort of cache of weapons and stuff around here that we might be able to use to neutralize this thing?
He certainly has weapons and gadgets. You are gonna fall. Certainly has weapons and gadgets and things.
And you are familiar with some of those gadgets. You may not have many of them with you, but I would say, Impasse, you know, because there have been villains in the past that have used sonic attacks. Mm-hmm. And I would say that although you do not have one, you are familiar with the schematics for a sonic suppressor that can basically, it's like fancy noise canceling headphones, basically, that can give some measure of protection against sonic based attacks. We can be a little timey-wimey and say, if you would like to roll a defend, you can convey those schematics to the lab techs here at Syntech and see if they can cobble together a few sets. Tilder, you know, you'll be immune to it because you're not organic. So that is going to be a defend roll for you.
I got an 8.
Excellent.
Well, not including, wait, it's plus what?
Defend is plus savior.
Ah, damn, 9. Okay. I was hoping it was superior.
No. So what is your total?
What did I say? I rolled an 8.
An 8?
So 9.
Would you like to use one of the minor boons to kick that up to a 10?
Yeah, I'd say so. Just because This is going to help us get into the actual fight.
And will prevent you from escalating the situation.
Right.
Excellent. So, do you have any conditions left to clear?
I do not.
All right. Would you like to add team to the pool or take influence over someone?
Team.
All right. So you add a team to the pool. So very, very quickly, it's actually pretty simple. A lot of the lab techs here already use noise canceling headphones just so they can like focus, etc. It's relatively straightforward. They just have to add a little bit of extra power and to beef up the noise canceling and direct it at what Tilder now understands to be the sonic frequency. So we'll say that they are able to cobble together 4 of them in short order. So as long as your organic fellows are wearing these modified noise canceling headphones, there you will have some protection against whatever this sonic effect is.
Sweet.
Yes, perfect. So, anyone else doing anything in preparation?
Because I have all the best stuff. So if I can find a cache, I can try to find something to help. So I might briefly disengage from the team and go off to try to find something, because I can't do a lot against these things.
Sure. So you're going to try to find one of your mom's caches?
I think I would actually go for Silver Shades, because if he's gone and out of the picture, then I'm a little less worried about getting caught and having to like confront somebody.
Sure.
And I know that he was in league with my mom, so they'd probably have pretty similar items stored away.
Yep. So make the roll. See if you're able to locate anything useful.
Let's see. So that is an 8.
An 8. What does that partial success or mixed success dictate on your move?
I leave evidence behind that I've been there. So.
Okay.
Probably,
yep.
Yeah.
You basically there's a storage unit here in downtown. It was they had used an EMP projector to knock out the security at Halcyon City Bank, First Halcyon City Bank. The last time that they robbed it, and they robbed that thing like 10 times. But the equipment is they just kind of left it behind. So yeah, you're able to go and grab a EMP gun. Basically, it won't be sufficient to knock out the entire artifact, but it can protect you from drones if they get up close.
Sweet.
Cool. So what is anyone else doing to prepare?
I don't exactly know what I'm able to do. Creatively, at least, I'm gonna make sure that. Go ahead.
Would you like to read a bad situation and see what the future says?
Yeah, we can do that. That's 2d6 plus.
Or sorry, assess the situation. Superior.
Okay, superior, and then even on a miss, I still get a +1.
Well, even on a miss, you get to ask the question. What does the future know?
11, 12.
Cool. So, you are able to ask 2. One of which is probably what does the future know? But so, which other question do you want to ask?
What year can I use to blank?
Or maybe we reverse the order.
Yeah.
Get an insight about what the future knows, and then leverage that for your second question.
Yep.
So, you know more about the future than you're able to consciously summon. Something about the time travel kind of scrambled your memories. And so you know that typically they're somewhat unreliable, and you just have the broad strokes. But at this moment of stress, you like, come on, Paradigm, pull it together and like really focus in, trying to get a sense about like this particular day, this particular time in history. It's just a bunch of confusion and messages from your mom, and it's all very kind of muddled in your head, but you do have a very clear image, as if it was captured by telephoto lens.
Right.
And that image is resonance atop a building, standing atop a building, singing at the city. Like that is the moment. That is the thing. Like, you knew that resonance was blamed, but you see resonance singing at the city, and you see people dropping to the ground, like all over the city.
I hope she's singing that new song he wrote.
Yes.
That was super helpful, dog. They appreciate your input, but I'm gonna need you to hush. No, we're not gonna back talk.
All the animals are like, no, let me. I know exactly what to do. Let me play.
Yeah, she's
Put me in,
part
coach.
husky, so she is the drama.
I got it. So that is what you see. Now you may ask your follow-up question. And it can be any of those, or something generally. Like, it doesn't have to be word for word. Something close.
All right. I'm gonna go with what here can I use to protect resonance?
No.
Richie, your face.
I think if you could protect her with the telekinetic shell to prevent any of these drones or other threats from getting to her, it's probably the thing that occurs to you as I've got to shield her, and the best way to shield her is with your telekinesis.
Okay. I'm going to relay this to Resonance that we've got to get her to the top of a very, very tall building, and she's just got to belt it out.
Yeah, like this
and then,
one.
I'll just put a shell around her. I mean, obviously, with the noise canceling headphones, I should be okay, I guess, standing right next to,
Who knows?
electromagnetic deafeners here.
So at that moment, the sphere breaks through the clouds and just hangs over the city, rotating very slowly. This pattern of green light going over its surface. And then with just the faintest whisper, this shell disintegrates into what looks like mist, but it's hundreds of thousands of these little diamond-shaped devices. You can watch the news feed as cameras with telephoto lenses are watching these swarms of devices snake between buildings. And as they get down close to the ground, the people here are accustomed to alien invasions, and half the people go and they hide in their basement, the other half like sit out on their stoop to watch, because there's always supers to save people. You see these devices peel off, go into buildings. You see like one of the camera people, there's we're here, live action news, and there appears to be another alien threat. And then this swarm goes by. One of these little triangular diamond-shaped devices smacks into the newscaster's chest. You see the wires come out, and then you see their eyes flash green. And then they reach forward and they smack the camera, and then it goes black.
Oh boy.
As you look out down, you can see people running from these swarms, but then as soon as the swarms catch up with them, they all stop. And then turn, and you see innumerable little green dots as there are now glowing green eyes turn toward the Lytech building where you are all housed. What do?
Big hit for defense.
This is a very tall building, yes?
Yes.
And Paradigm, this is some sort of future thing that we need to get residents to the top?
Yeah.
All right.
She's not the cause. She's the fix. She's got to sing her heart out and put everything into it. We need amplifiers, whatever we have that can help shut them down. It all is on residents' shoulders.
No pressure.
No pressure. No. I mean,
objective here is, again, protect the president, except for instead of Tilly this time, it's residents.
Yes.
And I'll
as you
attempt
talk,
to help amplify.
You see
after she gets there safely.
These controlled individuals rushing. Some of them rushing into the building. Some of them just beginning to climb superhumanly up the building.
Yeah,
this is tough too because I don't want to kill these people.
That we're on the 37th floor, right?
Yep.
Impasse, grab onto Resonance. I'm gonna take Resonance's hand, and Tilder's hand, and we're gonna take the leap of faith out the window, and I'm going to attempt to use my telekinesis to yeet us up to the roof as quickly as possible.
Okay. So Tilder and Spectre are going to make their own way.
I can carry one of them because I can mimic your powers. I can at least carry myself and someone else.
I can get up there.
And Tilder can get up. Sheridan can get up.
Perfect.
So it's just me and you carrying Resonance up. Because, wait, is Spectre back?
Yeah.
Okay, then you take Spectre, I'll take Resonance.
Well, actually, Spectre, do you want to be back or do you want to be at ground level? Because you can communicate back and forth with each other. Would you rather be with the group or would you rather be a delaying tactic on the ground?
I think I'd rather be a delaying tactic on the ground. I think I got to the cache and I'm heading back as this is happening, but I'm not quite in the building yet.
Okay.
I'm just getting to the outside.
Yeah, you hear your teammates say, "Oh, they're climbing up the building. What are we gonna do? We want to kill them." And then we just hear, because as far as everyone knew, you just ran off to do something. It's like, "Where's Spectre?" And then we hear, "Don't worry, I got it." And then as you all look down, there's a series of bright white flashes as you fire this EMP gun, which isn't harmful to organics. I mean, it's not comfortable, but it doesn't kill people, but it does appear to fry the individual drones that are controlling people. So you aim it up where people are trying to climb on top of each other, trying to make their way up the side of the building, and they all just kind of go ragdoll. I mean, they're going to have some bumps and bruises, but they're not going to die. So there's a kind of a Xena moment with Spectre standing on the top of a car that has turned sideways because the driver was controlled, kind of climbing up, and it's like, "Come on, come get me," and boom, 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 boom. I mean, your battery is limited. You will probably eventually be swarmed, but for a moment, at least some of the techno zombies are more attracted to Spectre than they are with the building. Not that there aren't plenty of them still trying to swarm up, but Spectre forms an effective rearguard action trying to limit the threat to you. I need to unleash your powers from Impasse and Paradigm. As again, you attempt to, under a lot of duress, use telekinesis with a finesse to move yourselves up. Tilder just goes over to the elevator and just hits the up button. Just whatever, it's fine.
That's a 5, and then you have the minor boon.
Oh, please don't drop me to my death.
I have an 8, so I got you.
All right. You don't have to have gone in, Tilder, but I would say it occurs to you that it's we could have just taken the elevator. As they leap out, and Paradigm's telekinesis.
Oh, hang on! I forgot to actually add my freak to it.
Yes, add freak.
It would be Okay, roll a 1. Okay, so it would be a 5.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm just cautious to use elevators because this alien threat has already disrupted technology before, and I'm not trying to get dropped in an elevator.
So
Yeah, we just used it, big gun.
paradigm, mark experience. So you leap out with resonance and then begin to fall. What
Can
do
I
you
catch
guys?
him? Oh god. Can I go out and try to like
Well, I'll give them a
grab him?
chance to respond.
Okay.
Well, resonance, what do you do?
Well, I mean,
So Paradigm is literally
who
going
was
to sit
holding
there
my
and-
hand?
It was Paradigm, and she's literally going to say scream down to push up, scream down to push up.
We're so far
I
up,
mean,
so
no, but I just need to picture in my head so I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing first.
So paradigm says, "I've
So-
got you," and then just pulls you out.
Jumps and pulls me out the window.
Yeah.
So I had no choice about what to do.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
you're both.
Impasse is the other hand because they were
I don't know.
both
I
trying
don't.
to...
This kind of just happened.
Yeah,
And I
impasse.
was like right behind them.
Yeah, impasse
Am I
is
watching jump out a window?
currently self-telekinesing, a little bit wobbly because it was a partial success. So, but you probably have a chance to act first.
So
Resonance.
I would say if Paradigm just pulled me out the window and then we started to fall,
Yes.
I would just automatically sing.
Unleash your
I
powers.
would automatically
Unleash your powers.
just be like, well, it would be like, ah.
Yes,
Like,
you
yeah.
literally just scream.
Yeah.
But given your sonic control powers, so roll to unleash your powers.
What I get for chewing with my mouth open on stream.
What'd you get there, Resonance?
I was just trying to work out which one it was again. Freak.
Plus freak.
Yeah, not enough. I got 5.
Oh,
God, we're gonna
no.
die.
Yeah, I wanted to just take the elevator, but
Well,
I was pulled out of a window.
take
What's to be dramatic?
take experience. Take experience. So
Like, in my
impasse.
head, I was like, oh, I can
You now have
maybe
you now have a
elevator go
chance.
faster.
Oh please, God.
I will allow you to. You're feeling kind of wobbly yourself, but I will allow you and unleash your powers.
Okay.
So can I say for the narrative, I was caught off guard by being pulled out of the window?
Yep.
That's why it
Yes.
didn't work.
You're just like,
I was just
"Ah!"
like, "Wah!"
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
screamed. I screamed in a bunch of different directions that weren't towards the floor.
Yes, and there's a
She screamed everywhere but down.
there's a
Yeah,
smash
because
as
because you yanked me, so my head was actually facing
Yep.
up.
5 floors of windows shatter.
Yeah.
Yes. So
The rewind will fix it.
I got a 9, but can I use a team to make it a 10?
yes.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Why not?
Yeah,
Oh.
coming in to save the day.
Also, because I had hit 5 potential,
Yep.
I was just gonna make my other playbook move captain when you enter a battle as a team, add an extra team to the pool and carry +1 forward if you're the leader.
Yeah. Do
Okay.
that, and that will give you the team.
Okay.
Although we're not. It's more narrative than info, but for
Yeah.
this case, yes. So you're like, oh crap, what do? I'm barely holding myself up, and then you're like, no, I'm the leader. They're counting on me. So exercising as Paradigm and Resonance both plummet to their doom. Impasse all wobbly. We see Impasse just.
And Tilda's just in the elevator going,
Yeah, elevator music.
Girl from Ipanema playing. The shoulder just taps your foot. Impasse reaches their hand out and then just very gently you feel your fall arrested as the 3 of you begin to rise up and you are deposited breathlessly on top of the Litech Industries building just as ding, the elevator door opens and Tilda walks out.
And I just say, I do turn to Paradigm and go, what the hell was that? Because like I'm scared. I go freaked out. I'm like, what the hell was that?
I guess it's as good as mine. I don't know what happened. I was confident and then suddenly I wasn't.
Oh dear.
All right. So there's a scene as you all look down over the side of the building. You can see that the parking lot, or the sidewalk and the street on the kind of Times Square side of this building is now just piled with unconscious people as Spectre is just blasting waves and waves of these techno zombies. And you hear a communication. It's like, my battery's getting low. Because your battery's getting low. I only got a few more shots. You guys rush to look at the other side of the other sides of the building are completely unprotected. Tilda, you are picking up sounds of the internal security at Litech. They're using various different kind of disabling technologies. Think of it as fancy tasers to try to disable as many of these creatures as they possibly can. But it's thousands of them. It's basically everyone who wasn't like locked away has now been co-opted by the sphere, and they're all coming for you guys. It's clear that no one is going to swoop in to save you because the supers are all still up in space trying to fight a rearguard action. So what do you all do?
My priority is protecting residents. So if there's ever anyone coming towards residents, that's who I'm aiming for. Non-lethally, which makes it really tough.
Yeah.
Same. I'm
I don't want to yeet him off a
putting
building.
that telekinetic shell around her.
All right.
And just giving her the most encouraging words to, sing her heart out, put all of the emotion and feeling into it, to have, trust her powers and just belt it out.
Tilly, what do you do?
Well, if they have the tech stuff set up, I think I'll try to set up some light barriers in front of like doors and like an overhang over the wall to make it hard to climb over the edge.
Yep.
Especially on the side that isn't on the Times Square side.
Spectre, your battery is out. So does Spectre go and take cover, or do you like whip out your sticks and start going melee?
I'm going out with a bang. I'm fighting them.
All right.
As best I can.
All right. So just because team is going to be important, I'm going to say you're entering battle against a dangerous foe as a team. That dangerous foe is hordes of techno zombies. Does the leader have influence over everyone? I don't think so.
No.
Resident is the only one I'm missing.
Okay. Is everyone fighting with the same purpose? I assume.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Does any member of the team mistrust the leader?
No.
All right. And the team is not ill-prepared or off-balance because you've had a chance to prepare and you know what's coming. So
Yep.
that
Yeah.
means you are at a total of, I think, 5. The one you start with, the one from your move, and then 3 more. So you are at 5 team. And we can be kind of loosey-goosey with how this is used because this is probably all going to boil down to one very dramatic scene. As the techno zombies swarm the building, and you can hear them coming up. There are many of them that are starting to try to clamber their way. They're impossibly fast. They are trying to clamber their way up, even doing their best to overcome the light barriers that Tilda has put up, but that has bought you some time. It is all down to whether Resonance can sing her heart out.
Okay.
This is going to be an unleash your powers. But everyone in the team is helping.
So firstly, I say a dramatic line. I say, it's time to put on a show. Like that, right? So that's the first thing. And then, just so you know, previously I sent an urgent message to my PR company. And so from a helicopter above, a crate drops down and opens, and it's got like a pre-set up stage.
Yep.
Like this stage, it's my emergency stage
for your pop-up concerts. Yeah.
But yeah,
no problem.
And it just
you just do that
and appears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Major boon
and minor boon. Thanks, cool. Hugs. Thanks, Duck. So
Hugs, I hate you. And Hugs is my friend, by the way. Yeah, and so it just appears, and I'm stood with my mic.
Beautiful. Roll it up.
Okay.
Roll it
Let's
up.
try this. Oh, geez. I've not been rolling well today. Let's hope that all changes now.
You've got 2 minor boons and a major boon.
Yep.
Okay, I rolled an 8. And Unleash Your Powers is Freak, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's brings it to 9.
And
9
minor boons. It's been one of those. It's been one of those minor boons to kick it to a 10, which is what you need.
Okay, so I take it to a 10.
Or you could spend one of the now 2 major boons to re-roll that if you would like, but you have to take the higher.
No. I think it's best to leave it at a 10. It'd be better to.
All right. I will use the remaining boons narratively. So
wait, I want to see how I feel. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go for this one because it's unleashing my powers. In my head, you can tell me, Michael, if this doesn't work narratively.
Sure.
But in my head, what I do, because I completely unleash my powers at this point, and it's like a full unleash.
Yep.
Is the so from the lights above me, the electricity goes in. And because remember, this is how I got my powers, by the way.
Yep.
And then out of my hands goes some electricity for like electromagnetism, and I slightly part anything that's covering the core, like if there's any drones around it. So I just create this slight break, and then I sing the okay, so for this narrative, in my head, it was, the thing that's always in the movies, Yeah. You know that? But in my head, but for now, we'll say it's the song that I wrote coming back from space.
Yep.
And I literally sing like, I don't know, like, supernova.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
And it goes, like out like that, and with a big vibrato.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's what happens.
So
and I'm just holding it like that.
Yes. You are able to disrupt the shell around the remaining defensive shell around the core, and then you sing massively amplified, all of your power going into your voice. And so you sing your song, but you are able to weave in the specific frequencies that Tilder and the lab techs here at Lytech were able to determine. So not only are you effectively attacking the core, but you are disrupting its control over its minions. I will use one of those major boons to say that the disruption is gradual. So instead of just like all the ones that are climbing up the side of the building, as opposed to them just passing out and falling to their death, they just kind of slowly slide down, minimizing casualties. You have effectively disrupted the control that the steel swarm was exercising over the organics in town. And because all of the organics in town were gathered here around the Lytech building, there are no casualties when the sphere begins to shudder and spark. It loses its anti-grav and then falls the remaining, 400 feet, crashing into the center of town. And just the echo of Resonance's song, you can hear it reverberating off of all the buildings. I mean, most of the glass here in the downtown is probably cracked or shattered just due to the volume and the resonance. However, pun. However, as soon as you let out that final note, all you can hear is just a few remaining panes of glass falling and hitting the ground. It is silent. Spectre, you were just in the midst. You were being swarmed by these things, and they weren't super smart, but they were just like crowding over you. You feel them all go limp. So we cut down to a street scene of just this pile of unconscious bodies, and then one of them rolls out, and you pull yourself up out of the pile that had been swarming you. Your Residence's hair is all blown back. And Paradigm, the although from a different vantage point, the image you saw of Resonance unleashing her powers and singing out at the city is exactly the image that you had in your head. Except now it is clear that it was in defense of the city instead of in its. You have a clear memory that in later news reports in your future, the villain Resonance was attempting some sort of attack on the city, but an unnamed hero who later disappeared stopped her before she was able to carry out her attack. And
to do it the other way.
Yeah, as a result, many people rose up against the supers. You now, I think, have enough of the pieces to pull together that the Steel Swarm was addressing its primary threats, and that some other version of you perhaps intervened against Resonance, allowing its mind control to take effect, and its grand plot of turning the people of Earth against the supers to continue. But by making a different choice, you have broken that cycle. Now, whether your future comes as planned, doesn't mean that the apocalypse isn't still out there, but this one way of triggering the apocalypse has been thwarted. You all gather back again together. What do you do?
Good work, Resonance. But you don't need to drone on like that anymore.
Oh,
yes?
God, Tilly.
Yes, good a pun. Between all of us friends, I gather in for a hug.
I'm exhausted on the
this is all your
floor.
fault.
I'm literally exhausted on the floor after that stellar performance, and interstellar performance. Hey, and as Tilly says her pun, I look and I'm like, yes.
We're all gathered.
And that just gives me a new lease of life, and this electric that's running, like, that's in my face, goes away because I'm okay now.
Yes.
Tilda healed me with a pun.
Yes.
So now I'm back to being Lala.
Yes, you have raced down into the courtyard of the Lytech Industries building to go see what happened to Spectre. And you find Spectre kind of got this massive smoking gun over her shoulder, and you can just see the carnage that she wreaked down here on the ground floor. You all come together. You have this moment. A very old, maintenance guy. Like everyone else, the people who weren't affected are still kind of hiding, like trying to figure out what happened. This guy who has a set of these headphones on, and apparently was unaffected. You see him just kind of pop out the lobby doors, look around, and kind of shrug, and then start sweeping up some of the fallen glass, but he is very softly whistling to himself the bridge of Supernova. It is sure to be your next top 10 hit. So
can we walk past? Can we just leave the building for a second and walk past My Fair Kelly's character? You know, the one who.
Yeah,
I need to walk past My Fair Kelly character, the one who blamed supers for the train.
Yes.
I just feel like I need to see them again.
They're kind of they've got one of these triangular drones still on their back, and they're just kind of woozily kind of trying to struggle to their feet.
Yeah.
We'll say someone reaches out and pulls off the drone, and they kind of shake their head. I still don't like you guys, and then they stalk off back to where probably to write a nasty blog about you guys. But yes.
And I'm like, bye.
Bye. So in the next several days, there is, yes, I know. In the next several days, there is an investigation. So the Silver Shade is actually alive. But woke up, having been with one of these like strange triangular or diamond-shaped objects having detached itself from him. There was some sort of puppeteering going on. It also, but not to have him play his part in the CCTV. He was never there. It is later determined that the TV footage of your mentor executing him was 100% fabricated. So it wasn't like Impact was mind controlled into doing it. It just never happened. But the Steel Swarm took the victim out of commission so that his continued life could, so the fact that he's still alive wouldn't be discovered and interrupt their plot. So Impact is fully exonerated and released from Aegis headquarters, and is present at the steps of City Hall as your still nameless group of young superheroes are presented with the keys of the city for thwarting the most recent alien invasion. You all know that you're going to get A's on this semester's practicum course because you have effectively participated in a major action against an intergalactic enemy, which is pretty much a guaranteed A. So yeah, you are sitting pretty. You are all, of course, the paparazzi are there. Of course, residents. Everyone's holding up boom boxes, playing not in sync. So they're playing like different stages of Supernova, which is very kind of discordant and weird. But people are going crazy. Your single has already made it to market and it's flying off the shelves. And
just be the Novas.
Yeah. Could be the dollars are rolling in. Your PR agency is absolutely thrilled. We'll say that Lulu leaves you a voicemail, basically saying you always did have to steal the show, but thank you, and then click hang up. Begrudging gratitude from Lulu.
I'm just going to lean over to the residents and be like, so if I have a key to the city and you have a key to the city, how many copies of this do they make? What does it open?
Nothing.
I just say, I don't know, but a copy of a copy tends to not work. I just laugh.
Fascinating.
And then I tell her what it is really, and I go, it's not, it's symbolism. I'm sure you can.
Oh, symbolism.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that.
Okay.
Yes.
And also, while you're there, just look up the Fonzie because we got an A.
A pun.
Wow.
Very good.
Look, Tilly's my best friend now. Michael, get over it.
So we see a final long shot of you all kind of standing up on a podium that's been erected on the steps of City Hall. You're all being lauded. You've got people holding up boomboxes playing Supernova. We have scattered throughout the crowd people who have bought commemorative Tilly headdresses that light up.
Oh, yes.
That's really good.
the
Yes.
next big thing.
Definitely a fashion statement now. So we see this triumphant scene of the saviors of the city being recognized for your heroism. And then we think it's the end of the issue. And then we turn the page.
Wait, can we have one more
Yes.
where I just go, seriously, guys, having no name is a PR nightmare.
Yes, exactly. Like, we really do need to decide on a name.
Like we really do need to find a name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tune in next
Like-
time to find out what our hero name is.
Yes, exactly.
Like Impasse said, why not go with the Novas?
So a discussion for later. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's a if we're gonna keep doing this, we really do need a name, which is the perfect kind of place to end it. And then you think it's over and you're gonna get to the credits, but you turn and we see a close up of Spectre.
Oh,
And there's a throng and a crush, and no one really. There's a little flash in your eye, a little spark of violet light
Oh.
coming from an alley. You peer in that direction, and you can see a shadowy figure just flashing a little light at you. This is a signal you're familiar with.
it interrupted Impasse's communications for a second.
I'll peel away kind of quietly from the group. I'm not
Easy.
really the center of attention here either. So
Easy enough to do. And this is, we'll say this is a reception scene afterwards. So there's plenty of opportunity to, and most of the paparazzi have, of course, now surrounded residents and also Tilly.
Yeah.
So
So I'll sneak off to go check it out.
you sneak off. And there's your mother in a trench coat with the collar turned up and a big broad hat. She would be smoking a cigarette, but she doesn't smoke. Hi, Valerie.
Hello. It's Val. What are you doing
Hi,
here?
Val. I just wanted to see my baby girl in her moment of triumph.
Hmm. Well, thanks for showing up. I guess.
Turns out I was right, wasn't I?
I mean, yeah, you were.
She'll gently put her one arm around you and kind of turn you so you're both facing and looking at this. You know, there's not a lot of money in being a hero. But it looks like there are some important rewards.
Yeah.
Friendship, fame.
It's more about the friends than the fame.
Yes. You know, Val, sometimes I think that maybe I let my experiences color you in a way that wasn't fair. You've proven that you are your own woman and can make your own choices. And I shouldn't let my own past stand in the way of me supporting it. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm here for you if you ever need anything.
Right. I'll keep that in mind.
She'll give you
And,
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. She can hold on to this thought for a second.
She's going to give you a little side hug. Well, with all the press and police around, I probably better go.
Yeah. But maybe I'll stop by home for dinner sometime this week.
That'd
As
be
long
great.
as that guy isn't there. Just us.
Oh, no.
Thank God. Please don't do that again.
Right. I'll try not to replace him in the next couple of days.
Thank you. That would be appreciated.
She'll take a few steps around take a few steps back down the alley, and then we'll turn around and look back toward the crowd behind you. At that moment, Impact and Impasse are kind of standing up and sharing a moment of victory. And I mean, it's good. And, the press has been very conciliatory toward Impact, and Impact has been relatively gracious given, his normal kind of brusque demeanor, but has done what he should do to say, it's understood. If I followed the evidence, I would have thought the same thing. So no hard feelings. Just being real stern. And then Violet Scepter will say, besides, your father's looking especially tasty. And then she'll continue saucily sauntering down the alley.
Oh.
And then fade in on Spectre's face. And then single frame, to be continued, ... question mark. Credits.
Oh, man. Batman Catwoman situation.
100%.
This is very good.
With a little Talia al Ghul in there because of the unknown child. Oh man.
Yes. So, hey everyone, that's Masks, a new generation. That is Teen Justice. That is Teen Justice Academy. Right. Story of young teen heroes getting into all kinds of trouble and drama and saving the city from overwhelming force and alien invasion. That is how it goes. If you are interested in more Masks, we might have a conversation about continuing this story or having other spin-off stories, etc. But if you're anxious for more Masks, you don't have to wait very long, because
tomorrow at 12:30 a.m. Pacific or 2:30 p.m. Central Time, I will be running a Masks game on my channel.
Yes. 98 Tough Love. So that's a good intro. So why don't you tell everyone where that is, and they know where they can find you next, but do your general audio spiel, and then we'll go around the circle.
All right. Yeah, I'm Tough, 98 Tough Love, various variety of nicknames. I am located at the 98 Tough Love channel on Twitch, and you can find me at 98 Tough Love on Twitter. Tomorrow, I am celebrating my 4-year streamiversary with lots of community games, and like I said, the Masks TTRPG, which will be great. I've got a couple of friends joining me for that, so it should be a good time. Good time. And yeah, that's my little spiel. Go Mish.
All right, I'm Misha Less Than 3. You can find me on Twitter at Misha Weya. Usually I'm hanging out and modding in the Justice TV program, but I believe you'll see me next here December 5th for Monster She Wrote. So that should be fun. Rachie?
Hi, I'm Rachie H. You can find me on my Twitch channel, which is my name, Rachie H, and all my socials are there too. I stream mainly Stream Raiders at the moment, but I am coming back with all new stuff at some point soon. It's all in the works. But also, probably the next time you might see me is with Mish. We're doing Monster She Wrote, where we're playing old ladies who are part of a murder mystery book club who solve mysteries together. A bunch of us are old ladies. I think there's Mish, me, Morrow. Is Meg?
Yeah.
Is it Mish, me, Morrow, Meg? Mish, me, Morrow, Meg. Yeah. And yeah, we'll all be there being old ladies and having some fun and solving murders and stuff in Willow Bluff. Is that right?
Yes. And no hugs. The butler did not do it. It was Cthulhu.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Zodi.
Hi, I'm the original Zodi. You can find me at my Twitch channel of the same name. You can also do the Twitter thing. It's all the same. I'm the original. I am Zodi. I don't know when the next time you'll see me. I don't know. I haven't looked at when the setup is for the next ones. I know there's a couple coming up that I'm in, and I get to play a discount Daniel Jackson, and I'm excited for that. But other than that, I'm gonna throw it up to SJ.
SJ Sidekick. Find me everywhere under that same handle. I'm also going to be in a few more TTRPGs. So I think next Saturday is Star Wars. And then I think December 9th is our second session of Mass Effect.
Yep. Awesome. And I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or narrator or keeper, whatever the system requires. I run games here. I run games over at every Sunday over at the Juices TV program and the Lissa T channel, which is our long-running D&D 5e campaign. And every Wednesday, I actually get to play D&D 5e over at Duckworks channel. So I think most of our upcoming stuff has been mentioned. Yes, we have part 2 on December 9th of Mass Effect. We have our second session of Oracles of Dune on December 7th. We have Star Wars Outlaws beginning December 4th. We have Monster She Wrote beginning December 5th. And then December 23rd, we're going to be starting Stargate Phoenix 5, which is a modern age game set in the Stargate universe. So we have a very full calendar between now and the end of the year, and plenty of things in the planning for early next year and moving forward. So if you are curious about our content, first thing you can do is follow this channel if you aren't already. You can also go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/C+content. Hit the little bell so you can be notified. In case our schedule is inconvenient for you, you can always catch up on our content because we post that about 24 hours after it's gone live here. The content there does also include our main D&D campaign. And you can always please join our Discord where you can talk about nerdy stuff with nerdy folks and have fun and share jokes and pictures of your dice and painted minis. And you even have a chance to sign up for some of the fun things that we have going on. Or even if you don't want to play, you can give us a vote and tell us what the content is that you're most interested in seeing, because I love getting ideas about new things to run. So I think that will bring us to the end of this delayed, but I think hopefully very gratifying conclusion to the potentially first issue of the Teen Justice Academy run. We will discuss more later. I did program in finally a raid call for us.
You actually have one?
Yeah. Or you can clip either of those. We'll see if it actually works. And if it didn't, just clip whatever Tough put up because it doesn't really matter. We should probably go see someone. I'm thinking maybe let's go see Nerder. She is playing Stream Raiders, which is a fun, awesome game by Captain TV. I know many of our audience plays that. And she's also doing her annual fundraiser. So let's go check in there. You can also, we'll go there, but you can also go check out Zam, who is doing his Skinathon at the moment. And I'm sure many of you will come back to Twitch later this evening for the Justice TV. I think it's community night again tonight. So we'll all be seeing each other in a variety of chats. But for now, let us go. Let me first remember how to actually raid someone. And it looks like it is taking. So thanks again to our fantastic players for making this story super awesome. And thanks everyone who caught this in the previous episodes. We will see you again soon.
Bye. Thanks, everybody. Say bye.